While the game loads, I kind of looked into the ending requirements for the good endings. You've got dads. And this seems like quite a hard game to, air quotes, win, so to speak, to get the good endings. It looks like you might need triple S ranks on, like an S rank on each date. If that's the case, you know, that's probably not going to happen. I'm not going to get a good the best ending, but I'll get an ending. Craig. Hey dude, I've got the runs. Thank you for sharing, Craig. Oh, I've got just the thing. I'll head to the store and grab you a real chunky milkshake, cherry licorice, and a book of word jumbles that I find helpful in strenuous times such as these. What? Wouldn't that make it worse? Oh no, oh, it's not for the diarrhea. Milkshakes are just comforting. Wait, why are we talking about this? By I've got the runs, I meant that I feel like running. Want to come with me to the gym? Why do I feel less excited about that than getting you home remedies for diarrhea? Come on, man, it'll be fun. You know what? Sure. When are we doing this? There's 30 more minutes left in this Meat Hell marathon. I'm outside right now. I'm warming up. Okay. Okay. At least let me see if Betty gets away from the wolves in time to get her soprasata wrapped cheesecake out of the oven. Go running!
Hey.
Oh, it's a minigame. The gym just installed these new virtual jogging treadmills. We'll feel like we're running outdoors. You can see other runners on your screen too. Let's try it out together. Tyler. Well, those are these are like Game Grumps people, right? Or related. Hey, Kiwi, how are you doing? Duncan, other runners, will I be able to keep up?
Dude.
Craig, don't worry. We're here to cheer each other on. I'll be right there with you.
Nice.
Just get a rhythm going, keep your heart rate up, but don't overexert yourself. You'll do great.
Run that dad.
So this is just Wii Sports. I'm clicking frantically, by the way. I'm not doing too bad, Kiwi. Could be better, could be much worse, so, you know, usual.
Dude.
Click frantically. This is just the Wii Sports. Okay, you can use spacebar to kind of cheese it. I don't want to overexert myself. Okay, holding spacebar actually slows you down. No, double input.
Dude.
Double input! I'm cheesing the game. I'm beating the game. I'm winning. I'm clicking and pressing space at the same time, so it's doubling my inputs. Wonderful. I'm so smart. Sorry if the webcam gets a bit shaky, as I mash space and click frantically at the same time. If you had a turbo mouse, this would be a bit busted, but I guess I'm kind of breaking it with spacebar anyway, so.
Dude.
I have overtaken Craig! Nearly. Well, this is a good anaerobic workout for my forearms. Look at that fake water effect to the right. Oh, we're going to go past it, aren't we? We sure are. Oh, look at that water. I can only go as fast as the game lets me, unfortunately. Hopefully this is going well for our relationship with Craig. I don't know. Professor Donkeyman really isn't anything without Roach, let's face it, in terms of physical exercise. If he doesn't have Roach or two swords, who really is he? Is he even really Professor Duncanman? Did I say Donkeyman? I meant Duncanman. Oh, my forearms, they're killing me. Thank you for lurking, Weldy. Have a great lurk. Oh, my forearms are on fire right now. How long is this minigame? Please be near the end. Please. I'm begging you. I need to stop. Donkey's his pet name, maybe. Please. Oh, no, we're not there. Okay. Why? Why does it keep going? The pain. The pain is real.
Dude!
Oh, finish line, finish line. I don't know if the spaceball mashing was worth it, but still. Oh gosh, S++. Yes, the spaceball was worth it.
That was the gold medal performance for sure.
Oh well, wow. But so if you're watching this and you play it, you could left click and mash space at the same time. Ah, my forearm. Craig, way to go. But we got that S++ with
Welcome.
Craig.
You've got dads.
Robert's the last dad to do a first date with. So I'm figuring I might get about halfway through the second dates today. Robert was pretty nice. A little odd, but nice. And ruggedly handsome. We should hang out. I type out a message to him on Dadbook. Hey Robert, good seeing you again at the cookout. Wanna grab a drink? I sit there for a couple of seconds, hoping he'll message me back. Have a good look yourself, Kiwi. Hey, says he read my message. I anxiously wait for a response. Cat videos. I start down a rabbit hole of cat videos and Robert quickly vanishes from my mind. I didn't realise how long I've been doing this, but by the time I watch maybe my 30th cat video, Robert pops back into my head. I jump back over to Dadbook to see if he's responded yet. Nothing. Well, I guess the guy's busy. I might as well make the best of my day. I get up, walk to the living room, then sit down and turn on the TV. History Channel. Duncan. Ooh, Naked and Afraid. Catching the Deadliest Ancient Aliens is on. I've seen enough hentai to know where that goes. TV. I'm so cold. I'm so scared. At this rate, I don't think we're going to catch these aliens by day 50. Duncan. I'm having trouble following this. TV. Ancient astronaut theorists predict that being naked makes you 10 times more likely to find ancient aliens. Some suggest that aliens are fascinated with the human physique, most notably, the butt. Oh, they're like art then. Duncan. Okay, I'm back in. I lose several hours to whatever the hell that was. Sighing, I get up and walk around the house. My stomach grumbles. Duncan. Time for lunch, huh? Well, I guess it's time for old Chef Man to cook a gourmet delicacy. I walk over to the refrigerator and open the door. Make a sandwich. I make a sandwich in its entirety while standing there. Who needs plates? Duncan. The sandwich. A lost art. I admire my work for a second before I clumsily drop the entire thing on the floor. Duncan. No! I look around and remember that Amanda's not home. Yeah, Chef Man. The name is paying dividends. Duncan. This is still good. 5-second rule, right? I reassemble my sandwich, peeling pickles off the floor and putting them back where they belong. In my mouth. No. Floor food goes in the bin. Wait. I'm a wreck. I finish my snack and walk around the house some more. Bored. When's Amanda coming home? A sandwich is not a snack. A sandwich is a meal. Oh! I just remembered something. When we were packing up the old house, we found an old basketball hoop that would hang off of a door. It would really bring the living room together. I wonder where I put that. I spend a couple minutes poking around the new place until I find it. After installing it above one of the doors in the living room, I'm ready to dunk. Come on and slam. I take a leap from the free throw line and rocket that sucker down the net. The crowd goes wild. And welcome to the jam. I pull up from the three-point line, breaking ankles and sinking a fadeaway. And I forgot the rest of the words to this song. No look behind the back shot. No look behind the back hook shot. Everyone's on their feet. Something, something, Space Jam. I managed to just barely defeat myself at horse before Amanda comes home. Then we cook dinner together. We're proud of ourselves for not even coming close to burning down the house. Afterward, Amanda and I dig into a carton of ice cream over an episode of Chopped Toddler Tournament. Toddler, what you have in front of you is a molecularly deconstructed sweet potato with a brown sugar demi-glace with creme fraiche, of course, or demi-glace, I guess. Judge, this is literally a jar of baby food. The toddler immediately burst into tears. Amanda, are we bad people for watching this? Duncan, yes. Just then, my computer dings. Huh? What's that? Amanda, oh, you probably just got a message. Amanda and I walk over to the computer and check Dad Book. It's a message from Robert. You up? WYD. I know what that means, chat. Do you know what that means? Duncan, what does that mean? Amanda, what you doing? Duncan, what am I doing? Amanda, you're just chilling. I type back, just chilling. Amanda deletes the G and hits send. Amanda, it'll make you look cool. A couple moments pass by. Another message pops up. Want to grab a drink? Amanda, hey, that means he wants to hang out. Duncan, I know what that means, Amanda. But it's kind of late. Amanda is the best kid. Amanda, come on, Pops, live a little. Duncan, I am living. With ice cream. And traumatized toddlers. Amanda, well, it's your life. But I think you'd have a lot of fun tonight. You are trying to get to know the neighbours better, aren't you? Duncan, fine. I type back a message to Robert asking him for details and he tells me to meet him at Jim and Kim's, which is of course run by Neil. Duncan, well, don't wait up for me.
Yeah.
Amanda, I never do. I throw on a nice jacket and run out the door. It's only a short walk to Jim and Kim's, and it's a beautiful night. I walk into the bar and see the usual crowd of barflies drinking beer and watching sports. I spot Robert at the back of the bar and wave hi as I walk over. And frequented by Mary and everybody else. You're not wrong about that. Jim and Kim's, brackets, appearances from Neil and Mary. Duncan, hey man, how's it going? Robert, hey buddy. Mary, ahoy there, Skipper. Robert and Mary are here. Uh-oh. Robert, I brought Mary along. Figured we'd need a drinking buddy. Oh man, I was excited to get to know Robert a little better. Now I have to deal with this weird married lady making passes at me. Mary, don't look so scared, kiddo. We're just having a drink. Robert, yeah. Speaking of which, I think it's time for the first round. What are you having? Whiskey, straight up. Robert, a dad after my own heart, huh? Robert orders 3 shots of whiskey and passes them between us. Well, this wasn't how I expected my night to be going.
Hey.
Mary, here's to bad decisions and relaxed moral values, fellas. What have I gotten myself into? We all knock back the shots. I almost choke on the whiskey as it burns down my throat. Holy hell, that was a kick. I look over at Robert and Mary, who seem like old pros at this. Robert grabs his jacket and throws it on. He was already wearing it, but okay.
Oh.
Robert, let's get marching. Duncan, what? Robert, the night's young, Chief. Come on, we're bar hopping. Duncan, oh, alright. We leave the bar and start walking down the street. I still don't know this area of town very well, so I just follow Robert. Duncan, so where are we headed?
Hey.
Robert, Irish I were drinking. It's an Irish pub. Duncan, a good pun is the whiskey to my heart. Mary. Puns are the lowest form of humour, Duncan. Try harder. Ouch. Am I going to be the butt of the joke all night? Robert. Jesus, Mary, put your fangs away for a second. We walk into Irish I were drinking. The bar is pretty much the same as Jim and Kim's, except for the old-timey Irish memorabilia on the wall. Robert, next round, what are you having? Whiskey hasn't failed me yet. Robert, let's do it. Robert orders 3 more glasses of whiskey and we post up in a garish green booth. Mary slides in and sidles up next to Robert, which makes me breathe a sigh of relief. Robert, let's sip this one, why don't we? Mary, suit yourself. Mary immediately downs her shot in one gulp and burps loudly. This is how Duncan dies? Absolutely this is how Duncan dies.
Hey.
Mary, that'll put hair on your chest. Robert, you are truly the paragon of grace and beauty. Mary grabs my drink and sips on it. Duncan, hey! Mary, Duncan, be a dear and get us another round, will you? I don't know how to process this evening at all. I get up and order another round of drinks from the bartender. As I head back, I see Mary and Robert having a lively conversation. Robert roars with laughter. I don't think I've ever seen this guy smile, let alone laugh. I take a seat across the booth from them and pass out the drinks.
Hey.
Mary, so Edith's kid snuck some pot brownies onto the table at the last bake sale, right? And I spot that little hemp sweatshirted gremlin in the act, so I go up to Edith with the baggie, and I'm about to tell her when all of a sudden she just freaks out at me. You're ruining the bake sale, she says. I should have been PTA president. Your roots are bad, and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Robert, so what do you do? Mary, I told her to have a brownie, that everything was going to be fine. They both erupt in laughter. I politely follow along with the story.
Hey.
Mary, she ate 3. More laughter. Okay, that was actually pretty funny. Mary, she called the cops and told them that time had stopped.
Give it a rest, buddy.
Mary looks directly at me. Do you smoke weed? Duncan, what? Mary, you know, the devil's lettuce. Duncan, Mary, I have 2 big fat blunts in my purse right now. Want a blaze? Duncan, You with the feds? I worked hard for what I have and no 2-bit corner boy is going to drop the dime on me. So you take what you're pushing somewhere else, I'll keep running my business the way I wanted run. Mary, what? Duncan, remember, you come with the king. You best not miss. Mary, Jesus, kid, dial it back. Robert giggles helplessly. Mary, I'm just kidding, cowboy. Robert, lay off the kid, Mary. You might not be used to your brand of humour. Mary, fine. Fine. We sit around and sip our drinks, people watching and cracking jokes. After a little bit of time, I begin to warm up to Mary. Her jokes become much funnier and much less scary. But it seems like she's not going anywhere anytime soon. I just wanted some alone time with Robert. I wonder if I can get her to leave somehow. Could you get the next round? Mary, you trying to ditch me, pal? Duncan, no. Mary, because if you're trying to ditch me, you can just tell me to scram. Duncan, Mary, no, it's fine. Duncan wants alone time with his new best buddy, Robert. Read you loud and clear. The wingman breaks formation to pursue their prey. Now, if you fellas will excuse me, Mary needs to sink her teeth into a helpless boy. If she weren't married, I would totally stand Mary. Robert, go with God. Duncan, nice seeing you. Deuces. Mary, sorry, to clarify, if she weren't married and in an exclusively monogamous relationship. Deuces, nerds. Mary gets up and saunters over to a younger looking guy at the bar. Robert, she grows on you. Duncan, does she though? I feel like she kind of delights in making men suffer. Robert, well, she does. Duncan, but what about her and Joseph? Robert, what about him? Duncan, you know, they're married. And she definitely tried to get in my pants the other night, and I gesture to her across the bar where she's making goo-goo eyes at that young guy from before. He looks like he's being held hostage. All is well, thanks, except Mary, who appears to be about to eat someone. You are not wrong, babe. You are not wrong.
Oh.
Robert, oh, that's just the thing she does. She's harmless. Duncan, tell that to the boy she's hanging off of. Poor kid looks like he's seen war. Frank West's origin story. He's covered wars, you know. Robert lets out a hearty laugh. Hey, I got him to laugh. Robert, oh man, you know I pegged you for one of those straight-laced types. Duncan, oh, don't worry. I got pretty wild back in my day. Robert, still got a little wild in you? You know it. Robert orders a couple more rounds of shots. I gulp. What am I getting myself into? Robert, think you can go shot for shot? There's only one way to look cool here. I grab the shot closest to me and down it. Robert looks impressed. He takes his shot and knocks it back. Robert, that's 1. You need 3 to be fully vaccinated. Duncan, so what do I even talk about? He's so cool, and he probably hates small talk. So how are things?
Hey.
Robert, I hate small talk. Duncan, okay. Robert, too many people, and this isn't necessarily you, but too many people think that they have to fill the dead air with noise. Personally, I think they're afraid of the silence, or they're afraid of what the other person is going to think of the silence.
Oh.
If you want some unsolicited advice, just learn to be comfortable with silence. Robert is speaking to my heart right now. Nothing wrong with two people sitting in silence and drinking whiskey, or reading books, or playing separate video games. Just two people coexisting peacefully together. Duncan. Oh, alright.
Hey.
Robert and I sit in silence and drink whiskey. I take in the rest of the bar. Patrons laughing, playing darts, spilling beer. Mary giving the hard sell to that young man. The young man pretending he got a phone call from one of his friends. Huh. Maybe silence is nice sometimes. Robert. So you ever kill a man? I choke on my drink. Duncan. Excuse me? Robert. You know. Watch the life drain from someone's eyes. It's not just their life, you know. It's their hopes and dreams draining away. Every memory and experience they've ever had. Gone. Sorry, chat. I realised I struggle with my drink, and I realised I could just move the coaster so it's closer. Now I don't have to reach as far around the microphone to put it back. Duncan. No. Robert. Great, me neither. Robert knocks back his shot and motions for me to do the same. I reciprocate. I'm just messing with you. Relax. I laugh nervously. Or am I? He's not cool. He's socially awkward. I recognise the signs. Yeah, Angel Wraith knows what's up. Angel Wraith and I are both socially awkward people. I laugh nervously again. We sip more whiskey, and people watch some more. Mary has her sights set on another man after the one excused himself to the bathroom and, I assume, crawled out of the window. Gosh, this whiskey's hitting me hard. Duncan. Gosh, this whiskey's hitting me hard. Robert. You betcha. Robert gets up out of the booth, shouldering his jacket. Let's roll! Autobots, roll out! Sorry. Whiskey. Inside voices.
Hey.
Let's roll. Duncan. Wait. What about Mary? Yeah, Robert. What about Mary? Robert. Brother. Mary is going to be just fine. I look over at Mary, who's lying on the bar in front of some poor sap. She's singing happy birthday to him, while he insists that it's not his birthday. We make our way out of the bar and back onto the street. I'm trying my hardest not to stumble, but man, that sidewalk is just coming right at me. I hope Robert doesn't notice me tripping over my own feet like this is the first time I've ever been drunk. Duncan. Where to? Robert. You'll see. I follow Robert through street lamp spotlights until we eventually arrive at a rundown strip mall. There's a beauty salon, a sex shop, a computer repair store that looks like it's been closed for 10 years, and finally, a liquor store. Mary is an experience.
Hey.
Robert, wait here. I'll be right back. After a minute, Robert returns with 2 wine bottles in brown paper bags. He hands one to me. Cheers. He sits on the curb and drinks. He motions for me to do the same. This is really not where I expected the night to go. I take a sip. Duncan. What, Zinfandel? Robert. What? Duncan. Nothing. I just wasn't expecting. Robert. It is delicious, fruity, and refreshing. Don't judge me. He's not wrong. It's pretty nice wine. I start to say something. Think of his lecture about valuing science earlier and stop. I sip on my wine and watch cars drive by. Robert. Let's throw rocks at shit. Duncan. What? Robert suddenly hurls a rock at a stop sign. The ding echoes throughout the empty parking lot. Robert. That felt good. He presses a stone into my free hand. Now you try. Duncan. I don't know.
Oh.
Robert. With feeling. I look at the rock in my hand. Look at the stop sign. Back at the rock. Back at the stop sign. Now the rock's on a horse. I know it has to be done. Got a problem with authority. I got a problem with authority! I hurl the rock at the sign. It sails over the stop sign right into the window of a parked car, leaving a crack. Robert, dude, run! I leap up and dart into the nearest alley, wine in hand. I can hear Robert's footsteps behind me. After I'm sure I'm far enough away from the cracked window that I'm no longer culpable for this heinous crime, I stop to catch my breath. Robert, maybe we strike rock throwing from the to-do list. Duncan, agreed. Suddenly, my stomach growls. Oh man, I'm starving. Robert, let's get pizza. Duncan, I can't argue with that. Where's good around here? Actually, I don't even care if it's good. It just needs to be edible and in my mouth in the next 5 minutes. Robert, I know just the place. I follow Robert through a maze of alleys and side streets until we eventually end up in front of a tiny hole-in-the-wall pizza joint. The bright red neon sign reads Pete's Piece of Pizza. Robert, Ta-da! I can see a few exhausted-looking workers behind the counter tossing dough and pulling piping hot pizzas right out of stone ovens. My stomach rumbles again. We go up to the counter and get ready to order. Robert, can I get 2 slices of Hawaiian pizza? Oh, wait, Duncan, you're cool with pineapple on your pizza, right? Personally, chat, Duncan throws like I do. Roughly in the vague direction of intent. Little Caesars. I've heard terrible things about Little Caesars on Stebadeus. Like, really bad things from just being on the internet. I personally, me as Ryan, the streamer, likes pineapple on pizza, so of course. We wait a minute for our pizza to come out of the oven. I'm practically drooling at the smell. The cashier hands us each a giant slice on a paper plate, so saturated with grease that I'm worried it will fall apart. We take our pizzas outside and wander through the alleyways as we eat. Now, is it a pizza or is it a slice of pizza? Because those are 2 different things. Side note, pepper. Just a random, malformed pepper. I take a bite. It's absolutely delicious. Like I said, Little Caesars. Duncan, pineapple is truly the best pizza topping. Robert, you said it. Duncan, man, I feel way better now. Robert, you and me both. We hear noise coming out of a slightly ajar door in the alleyway. Robert looks at me excitedly. Got any more of that wild in you? Sure, why not? You betcha. Robert, good on you. Robert won't lead me astray. Robert and I slide the door open and peek inside. It's completely dark except for some flickering light. We slowly creep forward, cautious not to be heard or seen. Robert, shh. Duncan, don't shush me so loud. Robert, shh. We come to the end of the hallway and find ourselves standing in front of a movie screen. Oh, this suddenly makes sense. Duncan, did we really just sneak into a movie theatre like a couple of teenagers? Robert, no talking during the movie. We look into the audience and are surprised to find that it's almost completely empty, save for a row of a few teenagers in the front. They look annoyed when they notice us. Robert starts making his way to the very back of the theatre and I follow him. We settle in with our wines and try to make sense of this movie. It's a romantic comedy, I think. A young man is frantically trying to get through New York to find the woman that he's finally realised he's in love with. Robert, kiss already! Duncan, there's nobody to kiss yet. You want him to kiss the taxi driver? Robert, hell yeah. I mean, nothing wrong with that. The kids down the way notice us heckling. One of them speaks up. Huh? Hey man, keep it down. Oh damn, that's Ernest Hemingway, Hugo's kid. Duncan, Ernest! Hey, Ernest, I know you. It's me, your neighbour, hi. Ernest turns back around, embarrassed. I turn back to Robert. He kissed anyone yet? It turns out that yes, he did kiss someone. He made his way out to a tiny island near New York to profess his love for a woman who, for some reason, he knew would be there. She tells him that they hit the jackpot. He said that they had, but I think there was some subtext I'm missing here. Robert, boo! Love is dead. Ernest, shut up, it's beautiful. Duncan, no, you shut up. Ernest grumbles, the credits start to roll. I stand up. Robert immediately pulls me back down. Robert, hundreds of people worked very hard to make this film happen, and you're going to sit here and appreciate them. Hey, Robert takes my attitude to credits. Duncan, sorry. Okay. Robert, look at that. Elizabeth Shelton, she worked really hard. I bet she did lots of good, wardrobe design. Thank you, Elizabeth Shelton, for this beautiful film-going experience. And Peter Anders, catering, fed a bunch of people so that they could have the energy to do their jobs. What a guy. We let the credits roll while Robert individually thanks every member of the crew. Once it's finally over and he makes sure no animals were harmed in the making of this film, we leave the movie theatre. We stumble into the theatre parking lot, polishing off the rest of our wine. Huh? Hey, assholes! Out of nowhere, a rock flies through the air and hits me on the knee. Duncan, my knee! What the hell? Ernest and his friends stand in the alleyway, blocking our exit. Robert, oh. What do you guys want? They are important, Unstable Devs. They are important. And yes, Angel, I was thinking he reads fast if he thanked everyone. And speaks fast as well. Duncan, why'd you go and throw a rock at my knee? This is my good knee. My orthopedist is going to be pissed. Ernest tosses another rock up and down in his hands. What's wrong with this kid? Ernest, you ruined my theatre-going experience. Now you have to pay. Duncan, oh. Well, I don't have any cash on me right now, and, like, movies got really expensive. Ernest hooks another rock at my other knee. I'm able to jump out of the way, but I didn't properly stretch before physical activity. And I'm probably going to feel super sore in the morning.
Huh.
Robert, we ruined it for you? That movie was pretty crappy in the first place. Ernest, hey, you take that back. That was a beautiful love story with really genuine acting. Robert, you call that good acting? What classicist mainstream slop have you been served your entire life? Ernest, what?
Huh?
Robert, have you ever seen any Michael Powell, A Matter of Life and Death, 1946? Easily the toughest 5 minutes of love you'll ever witness. Ernest, listen, man.
How dare you?
Robert, no. You listen. That popcorn-ass drivel that mass media is shoving down your throat will only make you more stupid and sadder. You of all people should strive for a higher standard in the art you consume. Your name is Ernest Hemingway, for Christ's sakes. Ernest's friend. Oh no, now you've done it! Ernest rushes Robert, screaming like a banshee. Ernest. Ah! I dive between Ernest and Robert, trying to stop the kid. He lunges forward, kicking me as hard as he can in the knee. Duncan. Fuck my knee!
How dare you?
Robert gets in between Ernest and myself. It's as if he's seeing red. Fuck, my fucking knee hurts.
No one hurts my friend.
Robert, alright buddy. Talk like a punk. Get hit like a punk. Robert squares up into a boxer stance. Queensbury rules. 3-minute rounds with 1-minute rests in between. No low blows, fish hooks, J grabs, or high blows. Ernest, what? Robert, and don't even think about pulling an illegal turnstile. That's an automatic deduction of 3 points. Why is Ernest so earnest? Ari is asking the real questions. Also, welcome to the stream, Ari. Ernest, Robert, you'll have to designate a second if you're unable to fulfill your role as main duelist. One of your friends over there looks like he has enough youthful vivacity to handle it. Man, I love the fact that he's using official Marquis of Queensbury dueling terms. Just to confuse Ernest. Ernest's friend, hey man, I don't want to get dragged into this. That movie sucked.
Oh.
Robert, it's too late. You two are bloodbound. If he dies, you die.
Excuse me?
Sorry. I don't make the rules. Talk to Queensbury. Ernest, we're just gonna go. Ernest and his friends warily back away. Robert calls after them. Robert, the Queensbury Association will hear about this and consume better content. Yeah, I was about to do the whole consume content at twitch.tv/comradebubbles, and I was like, technically content, yes. Better content than fake movie, probably not. Once the teens are safely out of earshot, Robert turns to me. Duncan, were you about to actually fight that kid? Robert, are you kidding me? I would never hit a child. That would be despicable.
Oh.
This is much better content. Thank you, Unstable Deus. You throw the rules at them, though. They always bolt. Nobody wants a Queensbury sanctioned throwdown. I think this is supposed to be Queensberry. I think it's... I need to find this out now. Please bear with me 1 second. Ah, yes, the distraction via utter confusion works once again. It works a lot of the time, in all fairness. It's a trope because it works. I'm going to hydrate while I do this. Yes, it is supposed to be Queensberry. Berry. As in, you know, the food. I would suspect that the confusion just comes from British pronunciation of Queensberry as Queensbury. Which I guess would be written like that if you weren't aware of how it's spelled.
Huh.
But full disclosure, I made half of that up. Duncan, wow.
Hey.
Robert, see? You don't even have to know the rules. You just make them up. Come on, let's get out of here.
How dare you?
Robert and I cool down a bit as we walk back to the neighbourhood. Robert, I'm so sorry. I get really into the art of filmmaking when I drink. Fought in bouts with points taken and not taken. That's fair. Don't you do martial arts, though? Duncan, it's okay. I think it's cool how much you like movies. We just make things complicated. We really do, don't we, babe? I think it's cool how much you like movies. To be honest, I don't know a lot about them myself. Robert, buddy, I got so much to show you. You ever see any Sam Fuller? Duncan, I haven't. Robert, Fuller is cash. Thanks for that adventure. Robert, adventure is all I got, buddy. Robert throws an arm around my shoulder and we drunkenly belt out tunes all the way back. We finally get to his doorstep. Duncan, this was an interesting night. Robert, I liked it. A smile forms on his cheeks. A rare sight. Not his lips, chat. His cheeks actually smile. He has 3 mouths. The main mouth, the cheek mouth on the left, and the cheek mouth on the right. Suddenly segue into Silent Hill, and we're all good. Let's hang again soon, yeah? I did do martial arts. I also taught martial arts to kids. That sounds terrifying, unstable Earth. Why would you do such a thing? Duncan, yeah. I linger there for a second, swaying drunkenly in the night breeze. Robert claps me on the shoulder. Robert, night bud. Aye. He hit us with the bud. We're buds now. Robert heads back inside and I stumble my way back home. Date complete. Then it took 35 minutes to do 2 air quotes dates. Whiskey full. Whiskey also empty.
I'm lost in your oceanic eyes.
Thanks, Robert. The achievement for
Welcome.
dating Robert, you can
You
see, is
got
called
dads.
Knife Dad. It shows up just... The achievement names kind of show up in this spot here, beneath the visualizer. Hey, Craig. Hey, buddy. So I have a favour to ask. Robert invited me over for dinner, and I know it's kind of a faux pas to invite another bro, but I've known the guy for years and I still can't get a good read on him, and now it's going to be super awkward if I go by myself. Will you please come with me? Egg, egg, egg. Water. Sweat face. Duncan, I love food. I especially love food that's free. And I don't know why you're so sweaty over cooking, but sure. Yeah, dude, I'm down. Craig, thank you! Clap, sweat. Duncan, I really hope that's a sweat of relief. Eat that dinner! Hey, it's Weldy whenever he's here, except dinner instead of lunch. That doesn't sound too bad. I could definitely go for free food. Why is Craig being so apprehensive? Does he know something about Robert that I don't? I hurry up and reply before my dad brain can work itself into a paranoia spiral. Yeah, dude, I'm down. Thank you, Craig, thank you. Craig and I decide to meet up before heading over to Robert's place. Craig's waiting on my porch, bottle of white wine in hand.
Bro.
Craig, Duncan! Boy, am I glad to see you. Duncan, likewise, man. Classy of you to bring wine. Craig, oh, it's not wine. It's sparkling apple cider. Robert literally has a wine cellar, so I think he's good. Duncan, wow. Craig, or at least I think he has a wine cellar. I'm genuinely unsure if he was telling the truth or not. I can never tell with him. Duncan, oh, thank God it's not just me. I never know. Craig, he's so deadpan about everything. I usually just laugh it off, but man, that guy's an enigma. We start walking over to Robert's house. Duncan, does Robert even know how to cook? I have sincere doubts about whether he even knows how to shave properly or iron his shirts. I feel like you learn to cook after you learn those two first.
Bro.
Craig, one time I saw him grab a hot dog from a trash can. I mean, it was at the very top of the trash can, like sitting above it, but still. If he were on trial, I think the jury would define that as in the trash. Duncan, in his defense, I've definitely considered grabbing food from the top of the trash before. Craig, well, yeah, I think we've all considered it, but the difference is that Robert actually did it. Duncan, true. Maybe he's the enlightened one. Maybe we're holding ourselves back. Or chat, maybe he's just a fudging animal and should be not... This event should not be praised. That is disgusting. We arrive at Robert's house and ring the doorbell, but the doorbell won't chime. Must be broken. Craig knocks on the door a few times. Duncan, since when does Robert have a dog? Craig, I don't know. That's weird. I can hear Robert just inside. Robert, 1 second. Craig, this is uncharted territory, Duncan. What if he's the one making barking noises and there is no dog? Duncan, don't say that. We're not even inside yet. Finally, the door opens. Robert looks a little surprised to see me.
Hey,
Robert, Duncan, didn't know you'd be tagging along.
Did
Craig not tell Robert I was coming? This is the hot dog you're about to eat. Come on, Craig. Duncan, I can leave if there's not. Robert, no, it's fine. Come on in. Ah, he's tied it up, I see. We enter Robert's living room, which is surprisingly really nice. Super messy, but still nice. He's got a dog. There's a tennis ball on the floor. Robert, make yourselves at home. We can still hear barking from the other room. Craig, I didn't know you have a dog, Robert. Robert, oh yeah, that's Betsy. Have to put her up when guests are over. She'll calm down in a bit. Duncan, what kind of dog is she? Robert, Pitbull. Rescued her from a dog fighting ring a few years back. She hates strangers. If I let her out right now, I would probably have to take you both to the ER. Craig and I make eye contact. He raises an eyebrow at me. Duncan, oh. Okay, the cryptid's here too. Everyone, look out for the Insulindian phasmid. Oh, never mind. It's there. Yeah, I'm gonna press X to doubt that story, Robert.
Oh.
Robert, anyways, dinner should be ready in a minute. Hope you guys like ossobuco. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Robert leaves the room, presumably to go to the kitchen. Craig leans in and whispers. Was the dog fighting thing real? Or was he kidding? Duncan, I don't know.
Hey!
Craig, what's ossobuco? Duncan, I don't know. Craig, did he make up that word? Duncan, until I have ossobuco in front of me, we can only assume so. We sit in silence for a second, taking in Robert's living room. Are we about to get sawed? Craig, nah. Usually you wake up in those situations. We voluntarily walked into this one. Robert finally walks into the room, carrying 3 paper plates of steaming food like a waiter. Robert, I don't have a dining table. Don't trust him. Robert's had bad experiences with mimics, I see. That's fair, that's fair. So we're eating here.
Oh.
Also, I don't have real people plates. Hope that's okay. Robert, if it's physical, if it has matter, and you can put food on it, that's a real plate. If it's made of people, that's also, I guess, a real people plate. But it's round. I'm assuming it's for use by people, so that counts as a real people plate. So a paper plate, totally fine. Robert sets plates in front of us on the coffee table. I still can't tell what it is. Looks like meat, maybe. Lots of sauce. I can make out some vegetables. Robert has several students I've met over the years. That's fair. I think that might be rice, but it could also be pasta. Yes, because those two things look very similar. Guess there's only one way to find out. I take a bite.
Hey!
Duncan, oh my god. I take another bite. The medley of flavours in this dish is amazing. The meat is so tender and the risotto, I think that's what it is, it's so creamy. That's a rice, in case you were curious. Duncan, Robert, this is really incredible. You cooked this? Unstable. Last mimic dining table I saw made a mess of dinner, both on the floor and it ate the food. Do you know what it looks like to fight on an empty stomach? Yes. Maybe. The mimic doesn't, though. Angel, Wraithy also just doesn't want to do washing up, which is totally fair. I mean, as someone who hand washes dishes nearly every day, some days I could go for just eating on paper plates. Robert, I fished it out of a dumpster behind a restaurant. Or at least I think it was a restaurant.
Hey!
Can you believe people just throw this stuff away? I almost gag.
Hey.
Robert, I'm kidding. I look over at Craig, who looks wary but still has his mouth full. He gives Robert a thumbs up. I know we have some, babe. It's also just... Eating off paper plates isn't great sometimes. It depends very much what you're eating. Robert, glad you like it. Craig, where did you learn how to cook like this? Robert, worked at a restaurant in Spain for a hot sec. Is he messing with us? I decided to play along. Duncan, you lived in Spain? Robert, after I dropped out of college, I went backpacking through Europe, crashing on couches, sleeping in hostels, wherever. Totally broke. Worked a couple of odd jobs wherever I could to scrape together some cash. One night I'm eating dinner at this little restaurant just outside of Madrid. I go to pay and realise I spent the last of my money on booze the night before. I'm in the middle of ditching when the manager catches me and puts me to work in the kitchen. Long story short, they ended up liking me so much they offered me a job. Why not, right? Started living with some distant relatives on my Mars side. Over the course of 2 years, I worked my way up from busboy to sous chef. Learned a lot. Craig and I wait for the punchline. What night watchman did he swindle to get back to the States? Who did he con in a game of poker in the back room of a speakeasy for safe passage in the crew quarters of a cargo ship? Duncan.
Hey.
Robert. Anyway, I still love to cook. I don't know what's real anymore, but this food's so good, I kinda don't care. Duncan. That's amazing. Craig, it really is. To be totally honest, I wasn't exactly expecting gourmet cooking here, especially not served on paper plates. Robert, I don't care about presentation. If the food is good, it should speak for itself. Mood. A mood right there. Also, if the food is good, it should be more than, like, a mouthful of food on the plate. You should have more. You should have enough food on the plate. Oh my god, Robert is really cute. He really is, isn't he? This ossobuco is screaming for itself. Robert. And paper plates are just as good as regular plates if you double them up. Craig. Duncan. Hey, is it bad if I ask for seconds? Robert. Help yourself, but save room for dessert. I made lemon berry savarin. Savarin? I don't know. Just beware of American proportions. Oh, yes, most definitely. Large, right? That's American meal sizes, from what I've heard. Duncan.
Oh.
Craig, well, aren't you just full of... Craig looks over at me.
Dude!
Surprises. Robert winks. He's winking, chat. Robert, you bet I am.
Oh.
You can come over for dinner anytime.
Hey.
Craig. Craig, I'm going to go get seconds. Duncan, me too. After consuming way more ossobuco than my body could handle, and then really ensuring a later... That should be ensuring with an E. A later food coma with a generous serving of whatever savarin was, Craig and I decided to head out. Robert, thanks for coming. I'm making an attempt to be more social. Duncan, well, we're always happy to stop by if you want company. Craig, especially if there's ossobuco involved. Peter Weller actually has a PhD in history.
You've got dads.
Oh, I assume that was a bot. Much appreciated. Yeah, we're just going to go through them in the order now. So we'll do Craig first. Second date with Craig. Unless you want to buy followers. No, that's all good. I'd rather earn followers the hard way. I really want to get some good quality time in with Craig. The last time we hung out, he was so busy with the kids and fending off flirty moms that I feel like we barely talked. Ever since the first time we hung out, I've been trying to get up a little early for runs. I don't think I'm going to be as embarrassing as last time. Maybe I'll even be able to catch up with him now. I type out a message to him on Dadbook. Hey man, been training on my run game recently, ready for round 2. Craig responds almost immediately. Dude, of course, emojis. I don't know why he didn't just send an emoji rather than type it out. Another message pops into my inbox from Craig. Let's meet up early tomorrow morning for my favourite morning activity. Brunch. You get it? It's like run and brunch, but brunch. I type back. Oh, Duncan. Brunch? What's that? You run. Craig, you run, and then you get brunch. Oh, right. Man. Brunch is a good activity. Craig and I agree to a time to meet in the morning, and I have a chance to spend the evening hanging out with Amanda. Amanda, so, we're doing pizza tonight? Duncan, again? Can't we do, like, a salad night? Hey, real talk? After the Christmas break, where we ate a lot of very rich food and roast meats and veg, Angel's been having salad every day, because we got back from her parents' house, and we were both like, we need something healthy and non-carb heavy.
Whoa!
Amanda, Dad, are you on a health kick? Duncan, not yet. I formed the committee to examine the possibility of being on a health kick. They haven't returned with their findings.
Aww.
Amanda, Dad, if you go on a health kick, then I have to go on a health kick by virtue of being under the same roof as you. I don't know if I have the constitution for that. Sorry, Amanda. It's time. Amanda, not if I have something to say about it. Suddenly, Amanda lunges for the phone before I can stop her. She has the pizza place on speed dial, of course. Amanda, hi, yes, can I get an extra large pizza with chicken, bacon, extra cheese and tomatoes, and a couple of the garlic sauce cups? So that's just a pizza sandwich, right, with chicken and bacon between? Duncan, Amanda, you're going a little north here. Amanda, oh, right, can you maybe throw some leaves on there or something? Yeah, he's going on a health kick. Yeah, Rico, I know, it's tragic. Amanda listens for a second. Hold on, I'll ask. Dad, is oregano a salad? Oregano is not a salad. Amanda, can't blame me for trying. Now, Rico, I'm talking to my dad. We'll just go with the meat lover's fantasy. Sure, say hi to the wife and kids for me. Amanda hangs up. Rico says, hey. The food gets delivered and we plop down on the couch to eat some czar. Just be careful, running is a gateway drug. It's a slippery slope, Dad. First you go on a couple light jogs, and before you know it, you're converting the garage into a home gym and renewing your subscription to some sort of weekly kombucha delivery service. Duncan, question. Amanda, shoot. Duncan, what's kombucha? Amanda, okay, so you aren't too far gone yet. I'm just giving you a hard time, Pops. I'm really happy you're running more and caring about your health. I want to keep you around for as long as possible. Duncan, thanks, kiddo. Speaking of which, I'm running with Craig tomorrow. Amanda, you going to be able to keep up with him? Duncan, hey! Probably not. We laugh and eat more pizza than is probably healthy in the name of carbo loading. I call it a night early so that I'm ready for tomorrow. When I first started running in the mornings, it was pretty hellish. Now that I'm a few sessions in, it admittedly has become a little bit easier, despite it always ending in me dry heaving over a trash can. Is that what the runner's high is? Just dry heaving? I lace up my tennis shoes, throw on a t-shirt from a writer's summit I went to 20 years ago, and head out the door at a moderate jog. Craig is already outside with River strapped to his chest.
Dude!
He's dressed head-to-toe coordinated running gear. Wow, I look like a total schlub next to this guy. Hey, but if you wanted some athleisure gear, I'm sure Craig could hook you up. Duncan. Craig, hey bro. Duncan, morning Craig. River going to be running with us?
Oh.
Craig, best as she can. We're taking it to the limit, aren't we, kiddo? Goo. Craig. Oh, I know what that means. Craig hands her a stuffed toy, which makes her smile ear to ear. Craig. That's all with the capybara. Sometimes it's the only thing that'll get her to stop crying. Hey, kid's got taste if she likes capybara. Duncan. Oh, I've been there. Amanda had a stuffed panda that she carried around everywhere. She would have a tantrum if we even tried to wash it. It was gross. Craig. So you've been running lately? Duncan. Every morning for 30 minutes. I'm basically an elite athlete by this point. Craig. Ha. Well, I'll try and keep up. Duncan. So where are we headed?
Oh.
Craig. I was thinking we could do a couple laps around the park. Okay, that sounds reasonable.
Oh.
Then we'll do some hill climbs up a slope. Okay, I can probably handle that. And then we'll close it off by doing some wilderness survival hike running to increase our agility. I'm suddenly struck with the overwhelming need to crawl back into bed. Sound okay to you? I usually like to throw some timed murder sprints in there, but I'll go easy on you since you're a beginner. Duncan, that sounds like something I am able to physically do.
Bro!
Craig, great! Let's get started.
Oh.
Craig and I finally arrive at the park. A few of the lone joggers make their way around the perimeter, and River waves enthusiastically at everyone we pass. It's a lot more peaceful in the mornings. Aside from the birds chirping and River gurgling away in the stroller, it's pretty quiet. Craig. Alright, good warm-up. That was the warm-up?
Hey!
Let's start the show.
Hey!
But wait. Craig reaches into his bag and tosses me a water bottle. I fumble it, but thankfully, don't drop it.
Oh.
You gotta hydrate, bro. You right, Craig? You right? I take a long drink from the water bottle and feel reinvigorated. Man, I don't drink enough water. Duncan, hey. I look down and pick up Arnold, River's toy, and hand it back to her. Stay hydrated, bro. Must have dropped this. Craig, thanks for looking out, bro.
Bro!
You ready? Sure. We finally finish our however many teeth lap around the park. I'm breathing heavily, but I can't believe I didn't actually lose Craig. He's even breathing heavily too, which makes me feel a little better. I look down at my shirt and notice that I'm drenched in sweat. Huh. Almost looks like a frowning face. Craig, that's one. Duncan, what?
Hey!
Craig, I'm just kidding. Good hustle out there, I'm really impressed. You're way better than the last time I launched you off a treadmill. Duncan, yeah man, you really pushed me to my limit just now. I can't believe I held on. Craig, sometimes you just need someone there with you to push you to do your absolute best. I'm glad I could be that guy, bro. Who's ready for hill climbs? River, blap.
Oh.
Craig, there's my little cheerleader. Duncan, you ready? Duncan, you bet. Craig takes me to a separate portion of the park where there's a steep hill that seems to go up forever. I strain my eyes to see some other joggers at the top. So what do we do now? Craig, we run up the thing. Duncan, that looks like a lot. Craig, Duncan, there's 2 things you need to know about this hill. 1, don't stop running till you get to the top. And 2, Craig points to the top of the hill.
Bro!
That's not the top. Let's do this.
I don't know.
I finally reached the top of the hill after making my way past what I originally thought was the top of the hill. Once there, I hunch over onto my knees and gasp for air. My lungs are like daggers poking my ribs. I can feel my heart in my ears. River. There's a horse now, apparently. Duncan, River, I'm having a moment, please. Craig, whoo boy. Craig looks like he's taken a beating as well. Ha! So he is human. Duncan, put your arms on your head and stretch out your elbows. It'll help you breathe better. Hey Thor, how are you doing? Thank you for the pan pride. I do as Craig says. It feels a little better, but I'm still in agony.
Oh.
And here. Craig tosses me the water bottle again. I hydrate like my life depends on it. Duncan, thanks dude.
Bro!
Craig, phenomenal work. You feel that lightness in your head? That's the runner's high. Duncan, oh! That's it. I thought I was just, you know, dying. Not doing too bad, Thor. Could be doing worse, could be doing better. Trying to provide a safe, wholesome space for people who need that mental health protection today. As it is what is known as a bad day in capitals. Craig, want to take it slow for a bit? Duncan, I would like that very much. As we're catching our breath, River starts crying.
Oh.
Craig, what's wrong, sweet pea? Do you want to play with Arnold? Craig looks around us.
Nice!
Oh boy, man down. I think we lost Arnold. No, Craig. Craig, it's worse than man down. Craig. It's capybara down. River keeps wailing.
Hey!
I've abandoned my child. It's toy. We gotta find him, dude. Stay strong, friends. Sending good vibes and love. Thanks, though. You know, I try to be what Solaris community is in, I guess, American afternoons, but I try to be that in the morning, so that you can go from a morning of positivity and wholesomeness to an afternoon of positivity and wholesomeness. You time travelers 1 hour in the future, you know, might struggle. It should be, Duncan, it should be simple, right? We just got to retrace our steps. I remember River last having it down at the bottom of the hill. Craig and I jog down the path, searching high and low for the stuffed capybara, which Craig takes the time to explain to me is a large rodent native to South America. It is. It also coexists remarkably well with many carnivorous animals. We get to the place where River might have dropped it, but it's still nowhere to be found.
Oh.
Craig, looks like we've got a mystery on our hands. We have to get to the bottom of this. Duncan, I suspect foul play. Looks like this is a prime case for world-renowned Detective Man.
Oh.
Craig, dude, it's time for a bro adventure. Duncan, a bro venture!
Oh.
We high-five and decide to jog back to the park to see if we can find any leads. Craig, so it looks like there's a couple more places to check and some bros around here that we could interrogate. Duncan, sounds good.
Nice!
Craig, wait. Who's good cop and who's bad cop? I think about it for a second. Duncan, well, I think with that your stature and overall resilience, you would make an intimidating bad cop. But on the other hand, you do have an adorable baby strapped to your chest. That softens the edges a bit.
Oh.
Craig, all valid points. I think you would make a great cop because of your congenial attitude and willingness to try... A great good cop because of your congenial attitude and willingness to try new things. But then again, I've seen how you get when there are too many commercial breaks during a show, so you have the potential to be a scary bad cop. Would you mess with a man wearing this shirt to go running in? Would you, chat? Would you? I don't think so. Duncan, I don't want to have to watch me tailing 3-minute segments with 5 minutes of commercials in between. And they're loud. The commercials are too loud. I just want to watch my shows in peace without people yelling at me to buy wiper fluid and stuff.
Dude!
Craig, case in point. Duncan, let's play it moment by moment.
Oh.
Craig, smart.
Nice!
So, where to, Brotective? Playground. We make our way over to a small playground at the edge of the park. A couple of kids play on the jungle gym while parents watch on the nearby benches. Over on one of the benches, I spot a familiar face. Look for clues. Craig and I, two grown adults, walk onto the playground and begin examining it meticulously for clues. There's no forensic evidence here, no stray capybara hairs at least. After searching fruitlessly for some time, we look up. All of the parents are staring at us. We smile and wave as we awkwardly slink away. We head back to the playground. Interrogate Joseph. Duncan, let's see what Joseph's up to.
Hey.
We jog over to Joseph, who seems to be engrossed in his book. Craig, Joseph.
Yeah.
Joseph nearly drops his book. Joseph, hey guys. Didn't think I'd see you two out here. Duncan, are you exercising? Duncan, sure am. You know me. I just love to run and be healthy. That's kind of my whole thing. What are you reading? Joseph, oh, just a book on knots and rope tying. Ah. It's got an anniversary coming up, if you know what I mean. Duncan.
Oh, Kirk Douglas.
Joseph, for boats! Boat ropes! Duncan, right. Craig, say, you didn't happen to see a stuffed capybara around here? Joseph, what's a capybara? Duncan, it's a large rodent that's native to South America. Exercising is a terrible disease on stable diets, you're not wrong. Kind of important to a healthy lifestyle, though. Joseph thinks for a second. Joseph, haven't seen one around. I'll tell the kids to keep an eye out. Duncan, your kids are here?
Hey.
Joseph looks around.
Oh, Kirk Douglas.
Joseph, they were a second ago. Must have gone exploring around the park. Duncan, do you know where they could have run off to? Joseph, they're kids. They get into mischief sometimes, but they always come back. Sounds a little suspect, Joseph. Duncan, mischief, you say?
Oh, Kirk Douglas.
Joseph, wait, am I being interrogated right now? If you did something wrong. What are you hiding, Joseph? Joseph, whoa, kind of getting the third degree here. This is serious. Duncan, this is serious. There's a capybara on the line. Joseph, I mean, you're more than welcome to ask Christian and Christy. I imagine they have their ears to the ground on all the latest playground drama. They might be somewhere around the woods. Craig, thanks, Joseph. We'll let you get back to your rope book. Joseph, boat ropes. We head back to the playground. I'm going to try and calm River down. Duncan, this is a pretty nice playground. Might as well get a couple swings in. Craig, what about Arnold? Duncan, maybe having a little swing might calm River down, might buy some more time. Craig, you're right. She's about to go nuclear. This might prepare her for the possibility of us not being able to find Arnold. Duncan, life is cruel and tough, but at least we'll always have swings. Craig straps River into the baby swing and gives her a gentle push. She giggles. I take a seat on the swing next to her and immediately realise that I'm stuck. River seems to love that. Craig eventually helps me out of the swing and we decide to get back to the investigation. Head back to the playground. Right, to another part of the park. Craig, where to now, bro? To the woods. Gonna talk to Christian and Christy. If you read Kushil's Dart, you might have a different meaning of tying a good knot. I have not read that. We make our way to the outskirts of the park. There are a couple of benches by the dense tree line. Looks like Robert's here all by himself. This also seems like the perfect place to look for clues. Joseph twins must be around here somewhere. Look for clues. Craig and I search through the outskirts of the woods, hoping to find anything that might lead us to Arnold. There are a couple of cigarettes and empty beer cans scattered around the thicket. This is probably the hot spot for edgy teens to hang out at night and say swears and stuff. But it doesn't look like there's any recent activity that might be capybara related. Craig, this might be a dead end, partner, bro. We return to the woods. Joseph twins must be around here somewhere. Let us interrogate Robert. Decent fantasy series, but not exactly for children. I will try to check it out. Maybe Robert saw something. We walk over to Robert's bench. Duncan, hey Rob. Robert, don't call me that. Duncan, okay! Hi Robert. Robert, don't call me that either. Duncan, okay. Hey, buddy.
Oh.
Craig, what are you up to?
Hey.
Robert, thinking. This is my thinking bench. I have to get a solid 2 to 3 hours of brooding in per day, filling quotas. Craig, have you by any chance seen a small stuffed capybara around? Duncan, a capybara is... Robert, it's a large rodent native to South America. I know.
Nice.
Craig, so, have you seen one?
Hey.
A stuffed one, not a real one. That would be weird. Robert, back up. Duncan, alright, Robert, we've been nice. Help us out, I'm gonna go off. Learn how to fight, and then come back here to kick your ass. Robert, you? Learning how to fight? Please. Duncan, well, fine. If you don't tell us what we want to hear, I'm going to spoil the season finale of Long Haul Paranormal Ice Road Ghost Truckers. Robert, you're bluffing. Craig, my buddy here doesn't play by the rules. Duncan will do it. Duncan, Callum and Flint crash into a haunted...
Excuse me?
Robert, stop! You're a monster! Robert sighs. I haven't seen any goddamn capybara, okay? Duncan, crap, I was really nailing the bad cop bit too. I thought for sure we had something.
Nice.
Craig, now what, bro? Joseph said his twins are around here somewhere, but I have no idea how we're supposed to find them. Robert, wait, those creepy kids? Why didn't you tell me they had something to do with us? Huh. Maybe I should have left the good cop, bad cop routine to the pros on TV.
Hey.
Craig, yeah, Robert, bro, do you know where they are? Robert, I do. A lot of people underestimate the senses of the man who broods. I saw them lurking around here a little while ago. Duncan, where'd they go?
Oh.
Robert ran into the woods. I'd be careful though. I don't trust them. But then again, I don't trust anyone.
Oh.
Not even you guys. Not even that baby. River, Brett. Robert, I take that back. You're an old soul, kiddo.
Oh.
Craig, thanks for your help, Robert. The woods. Go deeper into the woods. I stare into the depths of the forest. Who knows what could be in there? Craig, are you prepared? Babies are very sus. It's true. They are. Craig, are you prepared for what we might face in there? You never know what's going on behind a baby's eyes. Are we playing the forest now? Oh gosh, that's that survival game with cannibals, right? Yes. Duncan, I'm ready, partner, bro. You? Craig, nope. But if it gets River to stop crying, I don't care. Duncan, let's do this.
Nice.
We start down the path into the woods, keeping our eyes and ears peeled for any sign of Arnold. There are no squirrels or birds anywhere. The silence is unsettling. The sun can barely peek through the canopy. It's colder here. Suddenly, we hear voices. Huh? I want to do it. You got to do it last time. Craig and I come to a clearing where we find Christian and Christy kneeling over something. Duncan, stop right there.
Nice.
Craig, and put your tiny hands where we can see them. Christian and Christy just stare at us. Duncan, you heard the guy. Put your hands up. Christy, we're kind of in the middle of something here. Christian, yeah, can you come back later? Craig, the kids take after Mary, clearly. Craig, you're not wrong, Mr. Debedes. What are you kids doing? Christy, cutting stuff up? My heart is pounding. Is this the end of the line? I step closer. I can't believe what I'm seeing. A pair of safety scissors lies in the dirt, and it's Arnold. What have they done to him?
Dude.
Craig, Arnold! River, Goob! Duncan, you heard the baby. Hand over the capybara. Christy, no fair. Finders keepers. Duncan, no. Hey, Kiwi guy. Not finders keepers. That's our property and you've desecrated it. Christian, well, how can you prove it's yours? Christy, yeah, it doesn't have your name on it. Craig, actually, it does. See on the foot there? Christy looks at the foot. Christy, I can't read. Craig looks at me.
Oh, man.
I'm so done with this, bro. There's no use arguing with them. River sniffles. Craig looks exhausted. I don't know why he... I had no... never mind.
Oh.
Craig, I gotta get her home or she's gonna have another meltdown. Let's brunch together. Brunch some other time, yeah? How are you supposed to get a good ending there? I'm not doing too bad, Kiwi guy. I'm just seeing if it is possible to get a good ending there. Because all else fails, I'll reload the date. And just click through everything really quickly. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll play this out to the date summary screen, and we'll see what ranking I get. I head back to the cul-de-sac alone and head inside the house. God, I'm ready for a shower, a gallon of water, and a nap. I bet Amanda's still asleep.
Ah.
I crack open her door to find her still in bed, sleepily scrolling through her phone. Amanda, morning. Duncan, afternoon, actually.
Huh?
Amanda, right. How was brunch? Duncan, well, we had a good time with the run part, but we didn't make it to the rest of the portmanteau. Amanda, huh? Nah, sounds good right now. Well, that's because it's early in the morning for you. Go sleep, my friend. Don't make yourself tired on my account. I appreciate the support, obviously, but, you know, sleep is important. Duncan, to brunch. We didn't make it to brunch. Somehow we lost River's toy capybara on our run. A capybara is... Amanda, Dad? Yeah, it's 4:15. Dad, don't patronize me about giant rodents. I know. Duncan, sorry. Anyway, we figured out that Joseph's creepy twins had something to do with it, but we never got to the bottom of it. We actually cornered the kids in the woods and found what was left of the toy, but we couldn't convince them to give it back. Maybe if we'd had a smoking gun. Yeah, so there's other stuff to find. We're going back to find the other stuff. I guess here? Go back to the playground. Swings. Whoop. Other part of the park. Where to now, bro? Go to the field. We wander out to a grassy field at the centre of the park. There isn't a whole lot to see. But there are a few figures camped out on a blanket, and the grass could hold any number of secrets. Let's talk to Matt and comments. Look for clues. We carefully comb through the field of grass and flowers. I can't seem to find much besides a couple of ladybugs and a nickel. While I'm looking, Craig calls out to me from across the field. Craig, Duncan!
I don't know.
I jog over. Craig is kneeling in the grass inspecting something. I approach, my heart in my throat. As I lean over Craig, I see it. Craig, this is... Arnold's leg. I put my hand over River's eyes. No one should have to be subjected to this senseless violence. Duncan, my God! Who or what would do this?
Oh, man.
Craig, I don't know. But now I think we might be dealing with something beyond our grasp. Sent fake Kiwi a new profile pic just before waiting for a reply. Technically, for this stream, they're real Kiwi. They were here first. And yes, Ari. Oh God, no. I can't look at this anymore. I turn around, trying to wipe the image of the stuffing strewn across the ground from my mind.
Oh.
Craig, we're running out of time. We may already be too late. Duncan, bag and tag it. Let's keep moving. We maneuver back to the field. Matt and Commencita. Let's talk to Matt and his daughter. Commencita spots us from across the way and waves. She's sitting down with her dad on a sunny green patch of grass. We jog over.
Hey.
Matt, hey dudes. Craig, hey bro. Commencita, we just sat down for a picnic. Want some snacks?
Oh.
Craig, got anything to increase my glycogen reserves? Commencita, we have apple slices.
Oh.
Craig, thank you very much, tiny bro, but I should be fine.
Hey.
Matt, you guys working out? Good day for it. Duncan, yep, I'm the picture of health and athleticism.
Mm-hmm.
Craig, good transition, Duncan. Say, you haven't seen a stuffed capybara around here anywhere, have you? Matt, what's a capybara? Commencita, it's a large rodent that's native to South America. Hey chat, I don't know if you know this about capybaras, but I've heard from several sources that they're a large rodent native to South America. Duncan, wait a second. How do you know what a capybara is? You wouldn't happen to have had hands-on experience with one recently, would you? Commencita, we learned about capybaras in the 4th grade. I think it's more suspicious that you know what a capybara is. Duncan.
Hey.
Oh my God. What if I took Arnold? What if I'm the culprit and I just don't remember? I quickly check my body for any Polaroids I might have kept to my person to remind me of who to trust and who not to trust. I saw Memento once and I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Nothing. But what if that's what I wanted myself to think? No, Duncan, don't let them win. I shake off the thought. Saw a couple of squirrels over by that tree though. I don't know if that helps, but if you want to see some cute squirrels, you should definitely check it out.
I don't know.
Craig, thanks for the hot squirrel tip, Commencita.
Nice.
Well, we better get moving. Gotta find that capybara before River here has a breakdown.
Hey.
Matt, good luck. Duncan, let me get some apples for the road though. Commencita hooks me up with some road slices and we're on our way. Right, chat. We have, of course, ignored the obvious. We must interrogate River. Wait, let me try this. So who's the culprit you least expect? I get eye to eye with River, who still looks like she's on the verge of tears. Good cop? He was behind the hearts for once, unless River was liking it. Anyway, Duncan, hey sweetie, believe me, nobody wants you to find your capybara more than me, but we need more clues. I think somewhere in that baby brain of yours you might have something that'll lead us to the perp. See, what do you say, kiddo? River. Meh. I turn to Craig. Duncan, we're getting nowhere with the witness. We maneuver back to the field. Gotta check out the squirrels. Where did the suspect say the squirrels would be again? The tree. Craig. Ah, there they are. Duncan, Comacita was telling the truth. Those are some rad squirrels. Should have played back cop. I don't think Craig would have appreciated that somehow. We want him to like us. River seems happy. This may have bought us some extra time. Right. Now, I've dad-juiced where we should go next. As this has been previously established, River's the real brain, Craig's the meat suit. Ah, yes, of course. I'm sorry, how could I forget? We're going to the woods. We make our way to the outskirts of the park. There are a couple of benches by the dense tree line. Yes. Look for clues. Interrogate Richard. Robert. Just going to skip through it, I'm sorry. I'm being really careful not to accidentally select anything. Let's be good cop this time, though. Come on, Robert. The sooner you tell us what you know, the sooner we can let you get back to brooding.
Oh.
Craig, bad cop time. Robert, if you don't help us, I'm going to put you in a headlock. Robert, is that a threat or a promise? Craig, whoa! Slow down. Duncan.
Hey.
Robert, back off. Time to go Robert again. Walk over to Robert's bench. Oh, Christ, what now? Right, bad cop approach. Robert, I'm going to keep being vaguely threatening to tell us something useful. I haven't seen any goddamn capybara. The twins. And he's like, hey, the twins are over there. Headlock sounds more fun than the meeting you're in right now. Both. Yeah, threat and promise. That does not sound like a fun meeting, I have to admit.
Hey.
Again, I'm trying not to click on the wrong thing, so I'm being careful. Go deeper into the woods. I'm not prepared, Craig. On second thought, I think they might be about to able to smell the fear on me. Maybe we should give that a minute to dissipate. Craig, seconded. The woods. Okay. And then we say yes, and we go into the woods.
Oh.
And they're discussing who gets to do what. Stuff like that. Put your hands on we can see them. Blah, 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 blah. Headlocks aren't bad. Shoulder and wrist locks are worse. Yeah, headlocks are more an inconvenience until someone's actually trying to hurt you, whereas shoulder and wrist locks are extremely uncomfortable from the get-go.
Bro.
Where is it? How can you prove it's yours? Craig holds up Arnold's severed leg. I have to look away.
Oh.
Craig, you two got sloppy. You left evidence behind. I think you'll find that this leg fits perfectly onto his body. Christian and Christy look at each other. They don't know what to do. Duncan, how about a deal? You give us the capybara, and we don't tell your dad about this. Christy. Fine. She hands over the stuffed animal. Duncan, give us those safety scissors. They're clearly no longer safe in your hands. She hands them over. Duncan, I'm glad we could figure this out. Come on, partner. Craig and I start making our way out of the woods. He turns around and calls back to the twins. Craig, and tell your dad to stop letting you watch true crime shows. With the capybara back with its rightful owner, Craig and I shamble into a nearby diner, exhausted from our adventure. We find ourselves a corner booth and settle in.
Oh.
Craig, that was a tough case, but we cracked it. We did it, chat. Casual bit of manipulation of the time continuum, but we did it. Duncan, we're different now. Changed. Did we get in too deep? I'm also going to move the cursor so I'm not clicking on Craig's groin.
Bro.
Craig, it's nothing a hearty brunch can't fix. My stomach grumbles. I suddenly realise how big of an appetite I worked up. Duncan, brunch! Give me brunch. Craig, I have strong philosophies on brunch.
Oh.
You see, the first thing you do is divide your brunches between bougie brunch, I guess? The upper class, mimosas and eggs benedict brunch, and grimy brunch, the give me coffee and bacon and cheesy hash browns brunch. There's a time and a place for both, and I think most of life is about figuring out which one you need more. So, what kind of brunch dad are you, Duncan? Grimy. Make it fried and oily and clean the floors with a hose and I'll be happy. Craig, a fine choice, but wait, aren't you going on a health kick? Got a carbo load. Duncan, nothing like a mountain of cheesy potatoes O'Brien to refuel after a run, right bud? Right bud? Craig, that is not even remotely how carbo loading works. A young waitress passes out menus as Craig situates River into a high chair. Waitress, is this your kid?
Oh.
Craig, you betcha. Waitress, she's so cute. Hi, you. River, I blep. Waitress, hey kid, middle school is going to be really tough, but if you can make it through that, you can make it through anything. The waitress walks away after winking at Craig. Duncan, seems like you're the most eligible dad bachelor in town. Craig, guess so. Anyway, here's the thing about brunch. You don't do business during brunch. Brunch is a time for rest, relaxation, and restoration with those that you love. And while we're having brunch at a traditionally brunch time, the most important thing to remember is that brunch isn't a time. It's a state of mind.
Oh.
If you can't have brunch on your plate, you can always have brunch in your heart. Duncan, I don't disagree with you. I just don't know if I can match your intensity. Craig, I'll open your eyes, bro. Just you wait. We order our food and the waitress, after very blatantly hitting on Craig multiple times, eventually brings us our brunch feast. River munches on cereal right next to us, more or less managing to get it in her mouth.
Oh.
Craig, I gotta say, man, it's really great having you back around to hang out with. Things have been so busy with work and fitness and the kids. I just haven't had time to really go out and get to know people. With you here, it's like we're picking up where we left off. Duncan, I know the feeling, man. Moving to a new place could have been really rough for me, especially with Amanda going off to college soon. You're making this a lot easier. Craig smiles at me.
Hey!
Craig, it feels really good to go on another bro venture with you, dude. Just like old times. Duncan, for a while I forgot about anything that was bothering me in my life, and it was just you and me and... Waitress, more coffee?
Oh.
Craig, no thank you. Waitress, so, do you, work out? Craig, yeah? Mostly calisthenics, but I try to lift as part of the regimen. Waitress, that's so cool. I've been looking for a workout buddy, you know? Craig, I wish I could help you out, but I'm enjoying brunch with my workout bro right now. Duncan, hello. Waitress, well, if you change your mind. The waitress slides a folded note to Craig and walks away. Craig makes a face as he reluctantly puts it in his pocket. Duncan, we can't take you anywhere, can we? River, brip.
Oh.
Craig, it's a blessing and a curse, isn't it? Duncan, the next time we hang out should be in the middle of the woods where people can't interrupt us. And also maybe in some different woods than the ones where little kids like to vivisect things. Hey, props for the correct use of the word vivisect. Except Arnold technically not alive to begin with. So, not actually the correct use of the word vivisect, but you vivisect something that's alive, you dissect something that's dead. Craig laughs.
Bro!
Craig, man, remember all our camping road trips back in the day? Duncan, Joshua Tree, Yellowstone, that was the best.
Oh.
Craig, I'd give anything to do that all over again. And yes, babe, Craig does get all the attention. Duncan, dude, we should do a camping weekend. Craig, oh, I don't know, bro. I'm an adult now. I have all these adult responsibilities. I don't think I could just drop everything to go hang out in the woods for a few days, you know? Duncan, come on, dude. If we plan things right, we can do this. Craig, don't you ever do anything for yourself? Craig stares into his coffee mug.
Oh.
Craig, of course I do. Duncan, yeah? Like what?
I don't know.
Craig, sometimes I let myself have one scoop of vanilla ice cream before bed. But only if I didn't meet my caloric intake for the day. Duncan.
I don't know.
Craig, sometimes I let myself hit the snooze alarm. But only once. Duncan, dude, you gotta relax sometime or it's gonna kill you. Please come camping with me. It'd be so fun, bro. Craig does need better self-care, and when that's coming from Arababble, an actual person who works with mental stuff, counselor, therapist, she knows what she's saying. That's what I'm getting at. Craig, I guess I could get Smashley to take the kids for the weekend. Right, that's his ex-wife's name. I'll think about it.
Oh.
We finish our brunches and head back to the cul-de-sac. Craig, by the way, great job keeping up today. Seems like you're already making a lot of progress. Duncan, I'm probably going to need a little bit of recovery time after this. Tell the girls I said hello.
Bro!
Craig, I will. See you, bro, detective. No worries, Harry. It's only the truth. I say goodbye to Craig and step inside. God, I'm ready for a shower, a gallon of water, and a nap. I bet Amanda's still asleep.
Huh.
I crack open her door to find her still in bed, sleepily scrolling through her phone. Amanda, morning. Duncan, afternoon, actually. Amanda, right. How was brunch? Duncan, it was good. We got kind of sidetracked because we had to travel into the depths of Maple Bay's dark underbelly to find a toy river dropped, but, you know, I actually feel pretty grim. My legs give out. I find myself on the floor of the hallway. Duncan, I'm just going to hang out here for a while. You take your time getting up. Okay, I'm going to say it's maybe an A rank. Dude, bro, dad bod, and capybara. Oh, whew, got the S rank.
Amazing.
I'll
Just
take.
like back in college.
I'll take the S
Missed it,
rank.
dude.
It would be nice if you could check what ranks you got somewhere in the game. Well, it's been a long day. I'm just about ready to pack it in. After a few bites of ice cream from the freezer, I turn off all the lights and walk down the hall to my room. I wonder if Amanda's still awake. That kid needs some sleep. As I pass her room, I can hear a faint sound, but can't quite make out what it is. I get a little closer. Sure thing, Harry. Hope the meeting goes well. Is she crying? I knock gently on the door. Duncan, hey, Amanda? The crying immediately stops. Amanda, not right now. Her voice sounds strained. She sniffles. I need to make sure she's okay. I open the door. In the dark, I can see Amanda's outline in the middle of her bed, knees hugged up against her body. Is everything okay? Amanda, I don't want to talk about it. Did something happen? Amanda, no, nothing happened. Go away. I'm going to keep pushing. Amanda? Amanda, get out. Okay, okay. I quickly leave her room and shut the door behind me. Once the door closes, I can hear her crying again. Okay. I'm going to reload. And we're going to undo that. We're going to ask once to show that we are interested and that we care. But then we're going to back off. Her face has changed. Did something happen? I will leave her alone. Alright, I'll leave you be. I back out of the room and close the door gently behind me. She immediately starts crying again. Wow, I have no idea what has her so upset. She seemed totally normal. I feel awful just leaving her to cry, but I also get the feeling that if I tried to do anything else, it would only have made her more upset. I can't stop mentally cycling through all sorts of awful things she could be dealing with right now. More than anything, I just want her to be happy and safe. I have a hard time falling asleep, but when I finally do, I'm still thinking about Amanda. After a long night of very little sleep, I roll out of bed and make myself a pot of coffee. Amanda should be up for school soon. Maybe she'll be willing to talk about whatever's bothering her. About 10 minutes before she's supposed to leave, Amanda comes out of her room and makes a beeline for the freezer. Duncan. Morning, Amanda. Amanda. Morning. She drops the frozen waffle into the toaster and slams the freezer door. She won't look at me. Yikes. Duncan. So, anything big going on at school today? Amanda. No. Duncan. Okay. Do you need a ride to school? Amanda. No. Duncan. Want some coffee? Amanda pulls the toaster lever up and takes her still freezer-burned waffle out before it's finished cooking. Amanda. I have to go. Amanda picks up her bag and storms out. Duncan. Oh. Okay. I haven't seen her act like this in a long time. It's usually short-lived, but it always hurts. Hopefully this blows over and things are back to normal soon. I sit back at the kitchen table and look at a picture of Amanda and I hanging on the wall. In it, I'm teaching her to ride a bike. Her face is a mixture of excitement and pure, unadulterated fear. I remember how determined she was. Every time she would fall off and scrape her knees, she would get up and try it again. Finally, I had to stop her because she was bleeding everywhere. Then she started to cry because she didn't think she needed bandages and wanted to keep trying. As I put the bike away, she just stood in the middle of the street and screamed. Then I took her for ice cream and it was like nothing even happened. After giving it a bit of thought, I decided that if I force her to talk about it, I'm only going to make things worse. But I have an idea. I start rummaging around for ingredients. I hear Amanda walk in the door. Instead of heading for the kitchen like she usually does, she makes a beeline to her room. She's clearly trying to avoid me. Duncan, hey, Pumpkin? Amanda, what? Duncan, can you come here for a sec? There's a moment of silence. Amanda, yeah? Duncan, I wanted to say sorry about last night. Amanda? Duncan, I'm just worried about you, kiddo. I get scared when I know something's wrong, and I get even more scared when I feel like I can't do anything about it. Amanda, Dad, Duncan, so just whatever it is. And you don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but whatever it is, just know that you have a dad in your corner who wants you to be happy. Honey, You know I'm bad with words, so I was hoping I could speak a language we both understand. I pull a cake out of the refrigerator and place it on the table. Hopefully the frosting is set by now. Ta-da! Amanda. Dad. Sorry you're sad, but I support you 100%. Wow, that's wholesome. Duncan. It took me a really long time because I ran out of red frosting somewhere around sad and had to start over and... Amanda. This is beautiful. Duncan. It's strawberry. Amanda gives me a big old hug. Duncan is best dad. Amanda is best kid. I grab some plates and forks and serves up some delicious cake. Amanda. So, it's really stupid. Duncan. What is? Amanda. This whole thing. I know I've been really weird lately, and it's just... I don't even know how to explain it. I feel like I might have to make you a chart. I'm glad I didn't just go, hey, we're doing all 3 dates with Damien and then moving on. I'm glad I'm doing all of the content I possibly can. Duncan, I'm listening. Do you want me to take notes? Amanda, I guess I should start from the top. So, you know how Emma R is going to that fancy art school in California, right? Duncan, Emma R. I feel like, well, that's Amanda. I think Emma P's the best friend. The other one. Amanda, I guess you're not technically wrong. Duncan, it's good to have fallbacks like that one. Amanda, anyways, ever since she got the acceptance letter, I've been feeling like she's drifting away, you know? And she's been spending a lot more time with Grace than Emma P. Oh no, she's the best friend. Hang on, I can save this. I can salvage this. I can salvage this relationship with my child. Autosave has saved me.
Oh. Oh.
The best friend?
Hey!
Amanda, you got it. Wow, proud of you. Emma R. R for really good friend. Anyways, ever since she got the acceptance letter, I've been feeling like she's drifting away, you know? And she's been spending a lot more time with Grace and Emma P. I just thought it was all in my head for a while, but then I found out from Rosie M that both of the Emmas, Grace and Noah, all went to a party at Mackenzie F's. On the same night, they all told me they were busy studying for the Calc AB final. Duncan, yikes. Amanda, so another important piece of information is, God, this is embarrassing. I have a crush on Noah, and that's a thing. Duncan, what? Whoa, I had no idea. I definitely didn't know that. Okay. Amanda, you're a bad liar. Duncan, so are you. Amanda, I learned from the worst. Who's Noah? I don't believe we've met Noah yet.
Oh.
Anyway, so the only person I told about the crush was Emma R, and she promised not to tell anybody. I didn't confront them about the party thing because I didn't want to start drama, so I just keep quiet and keep going about my business. Amanda sighs. And then one day I invite everybody out to get nachos at the mall, and after not texting me back for like 2 hours, even though none of them ever put their phones down for more than 60 seconds, they'll say they're busy, like, simultaneously. So I tell them, never mind, I'll just eat nachos at home, right? But we were out of chips, and I really, really wanted nachos. Duncan? Totally understandable.
Aww.
Amanda, so I get to the mall anyway. I get to the food court, and who do I see there but Grace, Emma P, Emma R, and Noah, all hanging out together and eating nachos. Without me. Duncan, what? Amanda, it gets better. I'm standing by the escalators watching them, and I realise that Noah has his arm around Emma R, which is kind of weird, right? But then they kiss. Duncan, no. Amanda, yes, I know. So I storm over there, and I'm like, hey. And Grace drops a nacho on her shirt, because of course she does, and Emma R just, like, glares at me. Grace. Nothing is coming up. I don't know who that is. Duncan, Grace is the... We're going to go gossipy one. Amanda, I know. Grace is the one nobody really likes, or I guess that's me now. But anyway, nobody will say anything. I'm just like, you guys suck, which I realise is not the most eloquent thing to say, but I was very angry and really embarrassed, and I just wanted to get out of there. So I left, without nachos, might I add, which only further contributed to this shitty day, and immediately drafted a super long text to the group chat asking them why they've been so weird. And I wrote another one to Emma R asking how long the Noah thing's been going on, and... Sorry, I know that's a lot. You still following? What did Emma R say? Amanda, oh, okay, get a load of this. Emma R says, you know what? Let me just read it to you. Amanda pulls out her phone and reads, word for word, an arduously long string of text messages. Can you believe that? I cannot believe that. I care so much about Amanda's social life and mental well-being, but man, do I not understand what she's talking about. This is all beyond me, but I'm trying my hardest to be supportive. Amanda, they were dating in secret for like months. So I told her that she's being a really terrible friend, and she's like, well, if you think I'm so terrible, then just stop being my friend. And I was like, okay. And then she left me on red. And then, you need to get a drink, but you're hooked. I know, babe. I'm sorry. Duncan, wait, left me on red. What's that? Amanda, oh, like, she saw my message and didn't reply. And I know because they were all red receipts. I don't know what red receipts are, but I'm just going to nod and pretend I understand. Yes. How awful. Gotcha. So while this is all happening, I'm talking to Emma P about how mad I am because she's at least being kind of reasonable, and I'm venting to her about how pissed I am at everybody and stuff. And then, out of nowhere, Noah texts me and is like, how could you say that about me? And I'm like, say what about you? And he tells me that Emma P sent screenshots of everything I told her to the group chat that I got kicked out of. Duncan, alright, I think you lost me at screenshots, but that definitely sounds bad. Amanda, there's so much more, but honestly, it's all just really stupid teenager stuff. The bottom line is that everybody dropped me, half of my grade hates me, and now I have no friends. Amanda, you have the community here. We're all rooting for you. Duncan. Amanda, I'm so sorry. Amanda, I almost expected it from everybody else, but Emma R's been there since Mom died. Can't believe she would just stab me in the back like that. I'm not even that mad that she's dating Noah. I'm just upset that she lied to me about it for so long. Amanda stabs at the remnants of her cake. We love you, Amanda. Red receipts don't always work. Apps can flag the receipts without a human seeing. That's true. If an app is scanning your messages for whatever reason. Amanda stabs at the remnants of her cake. Amanda. Okay, I take it back. I'm kind of mad she's dating Noah. Like, what did I do wrong? Why did everyone just suddenly decide I'm not cool anymore? Why wasn't I enough? I don't understand. Real talk for a moment. Obviously, I'm usually quite flippant on the channel. I've been in Amanda's position. I didn't learn from it. I had, air quotes, friends that would ghost me for months at a time before being like, oh, hey, Ryan exists. Let's talk to them again. It feels terrible, and it has probably contributed to my low self-esteem issues. So I know how Amanda feels. Amanda, and as mad as I'm at everybody, like, I miss them, Dad. Amanda looks so dejected I almost can't take it. What could I possibly say to help?
Oh.
Anyways, that's it. That's the whole sordid tale. Thanks for listening. Tune in next week for more hot gossip. Duncan, wow. Amanda, I know it's pretty stupid. It's not stupid. Amanda, no, it's a stupid thing to be upset over. Duncan, Amanda, your feelings are real. Don't ever be mad at yourself for having feelings. Amanda, I guess. There's a whole song about it in Frozen 2. I want to say Frozen 2. Maybe the first one. I think it's the second one. Duncan, unless you've secretly been a robot who's been approximating human feelings this whole time. Amanda, Dad, if I was a robot, I would have transformed into a monster truck a long, long time ago. Duncan, but seriously, I know you probably don't want advice, but I feel like it's my duty as a dad to bestow upon you a few nuggets of fatherly wisdom. From Unstable Dios in chat, Amanda, at this point, it's probably better that MRR is doing this, as Noah can get his immature tendencies out on her, and you can then get the better version of Noah. That's true. This could be a learning experience for Noah. Let's just... High school sucks seems a little too flippant. Let's go with not all friendships last forever. People are going to come in and out of your life. It's just how it works. Not every friendship is going to last forever, so cherish your friends while you have them. And when it's over, don't dwell so much on the bad stuff. You had some good times with MRR, but you guys grew apart. Learn from it and keep moving forward. There are so many new friends to make, and they're going to be so much cooler than MRR and the rest. Ultimately, I think this says way more about their character than it does about yours, because you're amazing. And if they can't see that, well, that's their problem. Amanda.
Huh.
I'll keep that in mind. I look down at the table. Besides, Megatron's much better than Optimus Prime. Yeah, why turn into a monster truck, which Optimus Prime does not turn into, when you could turn into a gun? I look down at the table. Duncan, did we just eat that whole cake? Amanda, yes. We did just eat that whole cake. Duncan, well, good talk. Amanda gets up to go to her room. Before she closes her door, she turns around. Amanda, hey, Pops? Duncan, yes? Amanda, thank you. Duncan, you are always welcome. Love you, Amanda.
I love you too, Dad.
Eric Ishii said it for me. I believe Erika Ishii is voicing Amanda.
Welcome. You've got dads.
Okay. Time for Damien. So I looked into it, and apparently, I assume it's tied to one of the dialogue options I didn't choose, but Damien talks about wearing a binder or references binders in a way that leads you can reasonably assume or infer from his comments that Damien's a trans man, which is pretty cool. Second date with Damien. I had a lot of fun hanging out with Damien the other day. I wonder what he's up to. I open up Dad Book and start writing him a message when Amanda walks in the door. Amanda, Dad, you got a letter? Duncan, oh, is it from Grandma? Amanda, no, it's from Damien. Duncan, whoa, can I see it? Amanda hands me a piece of old parchment folded into an envelope and sealed with purple wax. Damn, the dude goes all out. I pry off the seal and unfold the letter. In the most beautiful calligraphy, the letter reads, Dearest Duncan, I hope you'll find my continued correspondence endearing rather than trying. One can only hope that my use of the slower, more traditional form of communication will showcase my sincere and earnest sentiment that I greatly enjoyed our time together. I write this hastily under the warm embrace of excitement, fearful that I may misstep and speak towards something unwelcome. For now, I hope that you might forgive my boldness. I will simply say that your company has greatly occupied my thoughts. While the afternoon may have been derailed by forces unforeseen, your companionship helped a great deal, not only in the discipline of my child, but in the morale of my spirit, and for that I thank you. That said, Duncan, if you'll allow me, it would mean the world to me if I could enjoy more of your time. Perhaps a trip to the cinema followed by a moonlit stroll would be to your taste? I eagerly await your response. With great respect, D. Bloodmarch. Amanda and I both look up from the letter. Amanda, wow. Duncan, he's good. Amanda, so you're going to catch a movie with him? Duncan, yeah, I better message him on Dad Book and let him know. Amanda slaps my laptop shut. The response better be in writing. Amanda's right there with you. Constables, Amanda, you have to write him back. A real letter. Duncan, but my handwriting looks like two toddlers fighting over a crayon.
Hey!
Amanda, Dad, you have to. He wrote you a letter. That's so cool. Duncan, will you help me? I need to class this up. Amanda, Father, I was made for this. Here's what you do. Find tickets to a show that you two will like, then enclose them in the letter. Duncan, oh, that's classy. Amanda and I hop onto my laptop and peruse showtimes. He doesn't seem like a romantic comedy kind of guy. Amanda, oh, here's one. Duncan, Vampire Crusade 2? Amanda, evil never dies. Duncan, I don't know, that sounds kind of stupid. Amanda, actually it's a critically acclaimed exploration into the ennui of existence. It really turns the vampire trope on its head. Duncan, really? Amanda, nah, there's just lots of blood and vampire titties. Duncan, well, let's roll the dice. I purchase the tickets and print them out and sit down at the table with Amanda to try drafting a nice letter. I start writing. Damien. Good morrow to you on this fine eve. Well, that doesn't even make sense. I do hope that this letter finds you in good health. Amanda, good one. What's next? Hey, remember when your son tried to cask of Amontillado that kid? I must confess my amateur control of the written word. Amanda, geez, Dad, have some faith in yourself. Okay, we're trucking along. Let him know how you're feeling. You find me in good spirits, for I felt very much the same after our last encounter. I did very much enjoy the adventure we found ourselves on the last we met. That earnest shit was pretty messed up. Oh, you find me in good spirits, for I felt very much the same after our last encounter. Amanda, nice. Ask him to hang out already. Duncan, true art takes time, Amanda. Well, while a strange turn of events, I find myself enamored of the situation at hand. Like Bruegel's landscape with the fall of Icarus, I find myself lost in your details. Let me get at that. Ooh. I'm going to check right now, because I kind of want to pick the second option, but I don't know if that's going too far, if you know what I mean. Icarus did not end well. You are 100% correct. Nope. It is. Like Bruegel's landscape with the fall of Icarus, I find myself lost in your details. Dad? Whoa. Duncan, I saw it on TV. I'm not an actually intelligent person. Hey, that's me.
Yeah.
Amanda, bring it home, Pops. It would... Let me take you out. I've got 2 tickets to the movies. I would very much enjoy your company, accompanying me to the cinema. It would bring me great pleasure to escort you to the cinema.
Yeah.
Amanda, smooth. Calling it the cinema is a classy move. Enclosed, you'll find 2 tickets to Vampire Crusade 2, Evil Never Dies, which I'm sure you'll find both titillating and enjoyable. Hod Daps Namaste will best wishes. And then I sign my name, my full name. Fancier that way. Duncan Mann. Is this okay? Amanda reads over my sloppy handwriting. Damien, I do hope that this letter finds you in good health. I must confess of my amateur control of the written word, as well as my even more amateur penmanship. Your letter found me in good spirits, for I felt very much the same after our last encounter. Like Bruegel's landscape with the fall of Icarus, I find myself lost in your details. It would bring me great pleasure to escort you to the cinema. Enclosed, you'll find 2 tickets to Vampire Crusade 2, Evil Never Dies, which I'm sure you'll find both titillating and enjoyable. Best wishes, Duncan Mann. You spelled his name wrong. Duncan, what? Amanda, nah, just trying to keep you on your toes. Now all you have to do is seal it and put it in his mailbox. Duncan, can I seal it with tape?
Alright.
Amanda, that's not authentic enough. I have an idea. I'll be right back. Amanda leaves the room and returns with a candle, a lighter, and a small piece of wood. You could have a wax seal. She lights the candle, which starts to burn down and form a pool of melted wax. Duncan, what's another thing? Amanda pours some of the wax onto the folded letter and expertly presses the small piece of wood into it. She lets it dry for a second and pulls the wood away, revealing... Amanda, here it is, your sigil. A little kitten with a bow on its head. Awesome. Amanda, scrapbooking stuff always comes in clutch. Duncan, well, I guess all there is to do is deliver it to his doorstep now, huh? I would assume yes, based on what I know of American laws, that it would be illegal to put it in his mailbox instead of his. Sliding it under his door, however, or putting it on his doorstep and knocking and then leaving, totally fine. Amanda, oh, I thought we were getting a carrier pigeon to do it. I already called my guy. Duncan. Amanda, I have a pigeon guy. Marcus has the good pigeons. Duncan. Amanda, don't get your pigeons from Anthony. They're no good. Duncan. I don't want to know if any of this is true. I head outside and walk over to Damien's house. I slip the letter into the slot in his door and go back home. Amanda, mission accomplished? Duncan, now we play the waiting game. The night finally rolls around where I'm supposed to meet with Damien. The next day he had left another beautifully crafted letter thanking me for mine and agreeing to that evening. Amanda helps me pick out a nice outfit and I show up to the theatre a little bit early. It's a chilly night and the theatre is kind of crowded, but it's still nice. Damien, how do you do? I jump at the sound of his voice and turn around to see Damien right behind me. Duncan, you almost gave me a heart attack. How long were you there for? Duncan, I don't know. I just walked up. My apologies for frightening you. Duncan, was that thunder? Is it going to rain soon? Damien, I didn't hear anything. Duncan, what? Damien.
What?
What? Regardless, the hour grows close. Shall we take our seats in the cinema? I must thank you again for purchasing our tickets. Please, allow me to repay the deed in Sour Patch Kids, or perhaps Milk Duds. Duncan, let's do it. We get in line to buy snacks. As we're waiting, I hear a familiar voice behind us. Lucien, I assume? Huh? My dad's here. I turn around to find Lucien standing a few feet behind us with a gaggle of other goth kids. Damien, Lucien, how nice to see you. I didn't know you were coming to the theatre. I'm glad to see you spending some quality time with your friends. Lucien, whatever, Dad. Damien, and what movie will you be attending tonight? Lucien, my friends are making me see some kids' movie about talking animals. I don't really care about it. Damien, well, I do hope you enjoy your evening. We'll be watching Vampire Crusade 2, Evil Never Dies.
What?
Lucien, you? Watching that? Duncan, yeah, I thought Damien would enjoy it. Lucien, good luck with that, Dad. Lucian rejoins his friends and I look over to Damien. Duncan, good luck with what? Damien, it's nothing. My son loves to tease. We wait in line for a little longer and Damien buys us snacks. He seems a little nervous. I wonder what's wrong.
Huh.
Damien and I take our seats and settle in for previews. Glancing at him, I can see that he's sweating profusely and gripping his armrest. He doesn't like horror films, does he? Is everything okay? Everything is perfectly fine.
Huh.
I'm so excited for this film. I'm a devoted patron of the arts, especially the scary arts. The scarier the art, the better. Duncan, do you have a favourite horror movie? Damien, of course I have a favourite horror movie. Mine is Halloween Town. Terrifying. Duncan, oh, interesting. That's odd. I don't seem to remember Halloween Town being that scary. I would have expected him to bring up some sort of strange foreign horror film that I'd never heard of. Damien's knuckles are turning white. It looks like he's about to rip the armrest off. Wait a second. Duncan. Damien, are you afraid of horror movies? Damien, you must be joking. I love horror movies. The lights dim for the film. Damien screams. Damien. I apologise. I was thinking about something far scarier than this movie, which is not scary at all. We settle in as the film starts. I offer Damien some licorice and he takes one. I take note of how much his hands are shaking. The title flashes across the screen in bloody letters. Vampire Crusade 2, Evil Never Dies. A pale man with long silver hair, glittering red eyes and well-oiled abs sits up in a coffin. Romulus Bad Blood. Awaken, my coven. Two more vampires slide the tops of their stone coffins onto the floor. Demetrius Morvant, brother, is it time? Carmela von Ruden, yes, husband but also mortal enemy. Is it time? It is time. The three look at each other and then to the camera. Romulus, Demetrius, Carmela, for the Vampire Crusade. This rules. The trio of vampires flies off into the night as foreboding organ music plays in the distance. I somehow get lost in the movie. As stupid as it sounded, it's actually a pretty fun flick. We get to a tense moment of the movie where Romulus Trueblood sits at a truce meeting with the general of the human army, whose wife Romulus has fallen in love with. General, Romulus, it is good to finally meet you. Romulus Badblood. General, I agree. It's good to finally blood you! Romulus leaps out and slashes the general's throat. Blood splatters over everything, including the camera. Damien screams again, reflexively grasping my hand. I immediately blush, forgetting about any vampires or blood or vampiric blood.
Oh my!
Damien, oh, I'm terribly sorry. Damien retracts his hand and places it back in his lap.
Huh.
Damien, I was writing a novel in my head about blood magic and I got to an extremely scary section. Damien goes back to quietly stressing out over the movie. It's kind of cute that he won't admit that he's afraid of it. I wish he would hold my hand again. Maybe I could do something to try to make him feel more comfortable. I've got it. I'll do what all dads do best. Talk during the movie. One second, chat. I want to know if my instincts are good. Because I don't want to be checking the thing a lot. Yeah, we're going to go with the dad joke. He seems to respond to dad jokes based on the end of the last day. Where does a dog go when it loses its tail? Damien, where? Duncan, to the retail store. I yell that last bit a little too loud for a crowded movie theatre, but I can see a smile form on Damien's face.
Oh.
Damien, good one, Duncan. The rest of the movie goes by relatively smoothly, with only a few whimpers from Damien. Maybe he would have liked the romantic comedy better. We get to the final scene of the movie where Romulus Badblood and the General's wife embrace each other in his crypt. Romulus Badblood. It appears that the true Vampire Crusade was the Vampire Crusade in our hearts, our cold, unbeating hearts. Romulus and the General's wife begin making out. Hard.
Oh my.
The film fades to black and the end appears on the screen. But then it hard cuts to Demetrius and his rival lover Carmela, who watch the two from afar. Oh no! Twist ending. Demetrius Morvant. Our bloodline has been pure for 1,000 years. Romulus has betrayed us by loving a human woman. It will only be a short time before the next Vampire Crusade 3, Evil Must Die Again. Whoa, that's a raid. Raiders, be careful that Nightbot doesn't bop you, but Croc Slippers, thank you for the raid. Welcome to the channel, folks. Hopefully you're all having a good day. Let's do... where's my... Right. I have royally messed everything up. I'm going to save, because Dream Daddy does not like typing in other windows, but I need to shout someone out. What was Croc Slippers playing? Did I mistype that? Oh, I did. Whoops. My bad. I've only been doing this for, a couple of years now. Hey, could someone... There we go. Play it. They will also let's play Dream Daddy. Thanks for shout out. Oh, no worries. Are you enjoying Dream Daddy? I got the command to work. I'm a genius. Oh, no. I fucked it up. Let's got it right. I apologize for mistyping your username. I'm a very anxious streamer, and in the heat of the moment when I'm trying to get everything sorted correctly, everything goes to crap. Everything breaks down. Screams externally. But welcome, Raiders. Hopefully, Croc Slippers stream was entertaining. Probably as Nightbot says, more entertaining than I'm going to be. But here we go. Yeah, I'm Comrade Bubbles or Ryan. I don't care either way. We try to make a pretty wholesome, cozy, and inclusive space here. My flags are in my webcam frame, if that matters to anyone. I'm pansexual and gender fluid. Arf, arf, arf. Get it? Seal of approval. That joke is wasted, like those bits. Thank you for the bits, Croc Slippers, and for the follow also. I don't know if the follow alert triggered, but thank you for the follow. I really appreciate that. And yeah. I just try to play a variety of games, and I started this on Valentine's Day, and we just keep playing it until I'm done. I think the current plan is to save before the final date with every dad, so we can see all the endings, or all of the endings that I've got through the playthrough. Obviously, I know there's like 2 endings for each character. I'm not that committed to playing the game, but it's a lot of fun so far. This is our second date with Damien. I've dated all of the dads once, and we're going back around for the second dates. Yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I treat this, every stream is an AMA basically. So there we go. I'll answer if I want to, and if I don't want to, I will tell you. Usually with justification. Anyway, back to Damien, who is adorable. More thunder, more ominous organs. The movie fades out again, and the bloody question mark now accompanies the end. Damien and I walk out of the movie theatre amidst throngs of chattering moviegoers. He's a little more pale than I remember, but otherwise he survived. Oh, important thing to note. My chat stands Craig. He's a little more pale than I remember, but otherwise he survived the encounter. He even seems kind of invigorated. That's the strength of a good horror movie. Damien, what an interesting film. While the premise admittedly struck me as pedestrian, I was intrigued by its harrowing love story and great attention to details in regards to vampiric lore. Sorry, but I need to go sleep. It's a little bit late here. Hey, don't worry about that. Go sleep. Enjoy your rest. Have a great sleep. Thank you for the love again. Yes. If anyone else needs to head off to sleep or eat or look after themselves, never apologize. Self-care is truly important. That emote is amazing. Great attention to detail in regards to vampiric lore. Duncan, yeah, it was pretty good. A lot more vampire titties than I thought there would be.
Oh.
Damien, come. The night is young. Let's take a stroll. Damien is making a point of not telling me where he's taking me. Still, I'm enjoying the walk and the cool night air. Being alone here with Damien is a lot better than being in a crowded theatre. Duncan, lovely night, isn't it? Damien, as lovely as the company, yes. Oh, Damien's got moves. He thinks I'm lovely. Damn. Okay, here comes a smooth response. Thanks, cool and okay. Thanks. Damien, no problem? Crushed it. We both stand there feeling a little awkward. I sure am one smooth operator. Duncan, are you getting a little hungry? We can maybe stop off and grab something to eat.
Oh.
Damien, worry not, friend. I have a plan. We turn the corner and are greeted by the gates of a cemetery? What? Duncan, are we going in there?
Ah.
Damien, a little bit of Victorian flavour, Duncan. Trust me.
Hmm.
I'm a bit nervous, but Damien hasn't led me wrong yet. I follow his lead as we walk into the cemetery, and the music starts apparently. Statues of angels stare down at us as we follow a path through the faded tombstones. As we crest a small hill, we get a beautiful view of the city. The night lights sparkle around us. I gotta hand it to him, for being in a cemetery, this is strangely romantic. Damien, picnicking in graveyards is an old Victorian tradition. An appropriate finish to an evening after a vampire movie, wouldn't you say? With a flourish, Damien produces a blanket and a picnic basket. Okay, I was going to make a think about where they come from, but Duncan's there already. Duncan, wait, where were you hiding that?
Huh.
Damien. Under my cloak? Duncan, oh, right. Damien unfolds the blanket and we both sit down, gazing out at the city lights. He produces a bottle of red wine and a fine selection of cheeses. Oh, Damien is the perfect man. Wine and cheese in a graveyard after a movie. What a king.
Oh.
Damien, in the Victorian era, there were no public art galleries, parks, or botanical gardens to speak of. Once rural graveyards became a more popular alternative to church burials, they became the only place that people could see beautiful plant life and fine sculptures. Duncan, that makes sense. This is pretty nice. I have a question though. How are you so okay with being in a graveyard, but you had trouble handling a scary movie?
What?
Damien, I wasn't... He sighs deeply. Okay, yes, I was extremely scared by that movie. I was not writing a book about blood magic in my head. I just have never been good at those. I just feel as if because of how I look and act, people expect me to love horror films, so I must play the part. Truth be told, I don't know if I have the constitution for them at times. Duncan, Damien, I'm so sorry. If I had known, I would have suggested another movie. Damien, it's quite alright. I actually did find myself enjoying this one thanks to your help.
Oh.
Graveyards, however, I think there's something rather beautiful about death. Cemeteries are traditionally built away from cities, away from the realm of the living. I apologise for steam pop-ups. I keep forgetting to set myself offline. And it keeps us rather separated from it. To acknowledge death and become comfortable with it, I think, gives us a certain intimate knowledge of ourselves. To sit amongst generations of those who came before us, to be truly alive in the midst of so much depth, brings me great comfort. Thaumaturgy, why is the pyramid involved? Damien's on the run from the pyramid. Ah yes, good old Clan Tremere. Oh boy. Death helps me appreciate life, to savour every second. We sit and enjoy our food and wine. I don't feel scared anymore. Never thought I'd be comfortable sitting alone in a graveyard at night, but I actually feel very peaceful. Suddenly, it doesn't seem like we're alone. Off in the distance, I see a shadowy figure in the trees. The music's changed. Things are about to happen. Duncan, what is that?
Ah!
Damien, I'm not sure.
Huh.
It noticed us. I'm paralysed with fear as it begins slumbering slowly towards us. Its shape taking a more animal form, more feral. I look to Damien for help, but he's just as afraid and transfixed as I am. I want to scream, but it's stuck in my throat. The creature is getting closer, moving faster.
Ah!
Huh? Oof!
Huh.
Oh. Damien, it's a dog. As it finally... That's Betsy, isn't it? Amanda and Lucian spying on Duncan and Damien. No, I'm going to say that's Betsy. As it finally comes into the light, the friendliest, stupidest little Boston Terrier I've ever seen pulls its owner towards us.
Oh.
The dog trots over to Damien and sniffs at his hands. Boston Terriers cannot be in any world described as large, however, so that description was a bit erroneous, although I guess if we saw the owner. Damien looks ecstatic. He ruffles the dog's fur happily. Damien, what a beautiful dog. Huh? Hey! We both look up, not expecting to see... Yep, that's Robert. That's Betsy. Called it! Robert, thanks. Damien, Robert, what are you doing out here on this lovely evening?
Oh?
Robert, hunting cryptids. Ah, well, for that, you want to go to Revachol, Martinez specifically, and you'll need to get a boat or a raft out to an island in the bay. There's a sea fort. You will also have to put loads of points into perception, maybe some pheromones, play about 40 odd hours of a game, solve a murder along the way, but then you'll find your cryptid, I assure you.
Huh.
Duncan, what?
Mm-hmm.
Robert, what?
Uh-huh.
Duncan, I didn't know you had a dog.
Oh.
Yes, Duncan, you did, actually. Robert, this isn't my dog.
Mm-hmm.
I found her wandering in the street and I put a leash on her, and now we're walking around this graveyard together.
Mm.
Hunting cryptids.
Oh.
Damien and I share a look.
Uh-huh.
Damien, may I give her a treat?
Oh.
Robert, sure. Wouldn't give her cheese, though.
Hey. Oh.
Damien, not to worry. Damien reaches into the depths of his cloak and procures a small dog treat. What else is he keeping in there? Subscriptions, obviously. The dog laps up the treat and crunches away, tail wagging furiously. Damien continues to smooth down her fur.
Mm-hmm.
Robert, thanks. The game variables aren't encompassing enough, clearly. They really aren't. Damien, my absolute pleasure. Damien shakes the dog's paw.
Uh-huh.
Lovely to meet you, my friend. May our paths cross again. Robert and his, dog disappear into the darkness again. Damien stares after them. Duncan, I didn't know you liked dogs.
Oh.
Damien, Victorians loved dogs, actually. Most Victorian women of high fashion would always be accompanied by a small dog, such as a terrier or a Maltese. I think big dogs are nice too. Duncan, yeah man, dogs are cool. My voice cracked, I'm sorry, I do apologise. I haven't been through puberty. Damien, I do believe we've had enough excitement for one night. What say we make our way home? Damien hops to his feet and extends a hand to help me up. I gladly take it as my knees aren't what they used to be. He packs up his picnic basket and leads us out of the graveyard. As we begin the walk home, I take one last look at the cemetery. It really is beautiful. Like a proper gentleman, Damien walks me to my doorstep. Damien, thank you ever so kindly for your company tonight. Duncan, Damien, it was my pleasure. Damien, Duncan, if you'll allow me, it would bring me great joy to offer you a token of my affection. Damien reaches into his cloak and pulls out a folded and monogrammed handkerchief. He presses it into my hand. Hey, we have the same initial, so it works as my handkerchief as well as his. Duncan, wow, thank you, Damien. I will use this to dry my tears for those I've lost. Damien, a noble purpose.
Huh.
Damien shuffles his feet. I just want to say that it's rare to find someone like you, someone who's open to my eccentricities.
Oh.
It's nice to feel so accepted. Thank you. I like how he isn't looking at us anymore, he is looking away. That's a good touch right there. Damien gives my hand a quick squeeze. Duncan. Damien blushes and hastily retracts his hand. I must take my leave. Good night. Before I can say anything else, he's gone. Duncan. Oh. I unlock the door and step inside. Like a whirlwind, Amanda runs from the window and plops down on the couch, trying to look nonchalant. Amanda. Hey, Dad, what's up? Duncan, were you watching me from the window? Amanda. No, I was just... Okay, yes. How's the movie? Duncan. Lots of vampire titties. Amanda. Told you. Duncan. But, as it turns out, Damien is Wait. Amanda doesn't need to know that. I'll keep it between me and Damien. Scary cool. Yep, he's so cool it's scary. Nice save, Duncan. Did you know that graveyards used to be a place to throw parties? I think I'm misremembering that. Amanda. Wow. That's pretty punk. Hey, it's grave punk. Let's take the modern tradition of sticking any word in front of punk. Grave punk. Which I guess would be... what? Warning stories about the dangers of unrepentant and unstopped necromancy, which would be certainly a thing. Duncan, also we saw a dog. Definitely thought it was a werewolf for a minute though. Amanda, how can you be so sure it wasn't a werewolf? Duncan, how can you be so sure I'm not a werewolf? Just look at these eyes. And how can I be so sure you're not a werewolf? Amanda's eyes narrow. Amanda, I don't trust you. Duncan, nor I, you. We make intense, wary eye contact for a second. Anyway, I'm calling it for the night. Don't stay up too late, will you?
Huh.
Amanda, I'll try not to howl at the moon past midnight. Date complete.
My dear friend, you've simply taken the egg on this one. Taken the egg is it's a, it's a Victorian phrase. It technically means winning, so, ultimately, you've won.
Be still, my beating heart, Damien. Duncan is clear. Bastet, not a guru. Yeah, I mean, technically they're serpent eyes. I actually do need to take my wellness break, so I'm going to save the game. He is so awkward, isn't he? For those of you who are new here, about halfway through my streams, I usually take a wellness break to stretch and grab a snack. Probably also going to refill my water because obviously I'm speaking a lot, so I'm trying to remain hydrated. But remain seated because we have a pet on the channel. Look at that adorable little creature. He also plays rock, paper, scissors with you, so I'm going to trigger that before I head off. Where is it? There it is. Look after the chatling, please, everyone. Spoil the chatling. You can use channel points to spoil the chatling, as Angel Wraith has just demonstrated. If you do have bits and are so inclined to use them, beneath the video player, there is an extension panel where you can buy food for the chatling, which just gives it more experience. Turns out also subscribing apparently gives it experience, which I never realized. I'm not saying that to encourage anyone to subscribe. I read it earlier when I was checking to see if there was an update to the extension, which is pretty neat. Anyway, I'm going to go and grab a snack and stretch and refill my water, so I will be right back. Have a good break. Please do not feed the chatling so much it explodes. Okay, now I'm back. You can all start behaving again. I mean, YouTube can plainly see that my chat was perfectly behaved, but still. That needs to go. Back to the game. It's a beautiful night, and the air smells so fresh, so I decide to take the long way home from my house. Gotcha. I casually stroll through the neighbourhood, taking in the sights and sounds of a suburban city with a low crime rate and wide, walkable sidewalks at night. As I approach the bar, I can hear patrons inside cheering. Oh, I bet the game is on. I wonder if my team is playing tonight. A drop of water hits my head, and now it's lots of drops of water. All the incriminating evidence has been concealed. Yeah, you're all just doing it in whispers to each other. It's pouring rain. Maybe I should wait this out inside. I order a beer from the bar and settle in. Turns out that my team isn't playing tonight, but I can certainly enjoy the game regardless. The bar is unusually crowded, and the feeling of camaraderie over a shared love for the game makes me smile. Sports are nice. You know what? Chat, you're nicer. You are arguably both the cutest and the hottest chat community on this entire hellscape that we call Twitch. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Continuing on, before I get too mushy, I choose to believe this is a local English football match. Oh, that is not nice, my friend. That is not nice. I look over into the corner and spot none other than Mary, sitting alone and in the corner nursing a cocktail. Something about her seems different this time. Now that she's by herself and not hanging off with some younger guy, she looks so sad. Now this is totally a baseball game? Maybe. She looks up and half-heartedly raises her glass to me before staring off into middle distance. Is baseball super wholesome? I can't tell if you're trolling or not, Ari. I'm gonna say hi. I decide to go say hello. I walk over to her booth. She doesn't look up. Duncan, the seat taken? She still doesn't look up. I take a seat anyways as she finally notices me.
Hey.
Mary, hey cowboy. Duncan. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I know baseball is super slow, right? It's just a lot of waiting for people to eat balls at each other. You alright? Mary, never better. She hiccups. Guess she's a little far gone. Tears start welling up in her eyes. Duncan, oh. Mary, will you walk a gal home? Baseball is a game of anticipation. I've heard that said. I'll walk her home. I slide out of the booth. Seems like Mary's having some trouble getting up. I reach out a hand to help her, but she waves me away. Mary, I got it. I got it. She clearly does not got it. Sorry. I know that her fingers are supposed to be kind of bent based on these two fingers, but it just looks like her fingers are either missing or she shoved them into her chest cavity. Baseball is where mind games meet strong, beefy men. Hey, I've played the baseball minigames in Yakuza. I know that feel. Stares into the middle distance as memories consume me.
Hey.
Duncan, you know what? Hang out here for a second. I walk over to the bartender and pay Mary's tab. Duncan, hey, I don't know if you remember me, but I live in Mary's cul-de-sac and I'm just making sure she gets home safe tonight. Neil, I know you. Duncan, yeah, it's nothing weird, just... Neil, she usually has one of the bar staff walk her home, but I trust you. Duncan, she doesn't, go home with... I don't really want to say it. One of the guys she meets? Neil, nah. Duncan, ah? Neil, ain't her thing. Duncan. Huh. I head back to the booth. Mary stumbles out of the seat and directly into my arms. It's still raining a little bit. I take off my coat and hold it over Mary's head. Oh, while I'm thinking about it, chat, I know on the schedule the next game is supposed to be Bioshock 2, but with how, let's say, much violence there is in the world right now, I'm going to be moving the schedule around. We're going to be playing Crash Bandicoot 3 next, and then after that, possibly Banjo-Tooie, or Bugs Bunny Lost in Time. Just saying. Banjo-Tooie is technically a channel goal, and I do have the Bugs Bunny option. Where else would you put your money to keep it safe? It's hard to get pickpocketed from your chest cavity. That's fine. That's fine. Is it time for Lost in Random? Not yet on Stable Deus, unfortunately. Yeah. Ari seems a bit excited for Bugs Bunny. But I'm still appreciative of the offer, Sebdes. I will likely take you up on it at some point if my financial situation continues to not improve. Anyway, Mary, such a gentleman. Duncan, let's get you home. Mary and I walk in silence up the street towards the cul-de-sac. I have no idea what to say to her, for fear that she might hit on me. Or not. What did the bartender mean by ain't her thing?
Oh.
Mary, sorry you have to see me like this. I'm usually not... I know Joseph doesn't like it when I just... Sorry. Duncan, it's alright. Mary, I'm sorry if I'm ever mean to you. Duncan, it's alright. Mary, no, it's not. I know it's not. I'm having a really... Forget it. As we get to the cul-de-sac, I can feel Mary starting to slow down. By the time we arrive at the doorstep, she pulls away from me. Mary, wait, can we just... Oh, hold on. Duncan, what's wrong? Mary.
Hey.
How about another drink? Old time's sake? Duncan, come on, Mary. It's bedtime. Mary looks me up and down, giving me a half smile.
Hey.
Mary, you're right. She pulls me in close for a hug, holding on to me for a little longer than feels appropriate. She mumbles into my chest.
Hey.
You're a good kid. Thanks for the company.
Ah.
Mary gives me a pat on the back, straightens out her sweater, and walks the rest of the way to the front door herself. Duncan, huh. So that happened.
Welcome. You've got dads.
Okay, clearly I've either done all of the random dad encounters, or dad counters, if you will. Or they're just keyed to certain dates. I feel Duncan's older than Mary. Yeah, quite possibly. Anyway, Matt, date 2. See if we get another funky mini game that's got an alternative song playing over it because of streamer mode. Instead of messaging the guy, why don't I just walk over and grab some coffee? I'm feeling really sluggish today anyway. Duncan, Amanda? Yeah, Duncan might be older than Mary. Amanda sticks her head out of her room. Amanda, father! Duncan, want to go to the coffee spoon?
Yeah.
Amanda, oh, so you get called cool once and now you're the cool dad who hangs out at coffee shops and listens to neo jazz and stuff. Duncan, Amanda? Amanda, you're going to bring your laptop and your leather-bound journal so you can work on your poetry anthology? Duncan, look, honey, do you want me to buy a coffee or not? Amanda.
Huh.
Let me grab my laptop and my leather-bound journal. Hey, it's Pablo. Amanda and I make the short walk over to the coffee spoon. The place is quiet today, just a few people hanging out and reading books in the cosy little nooks. I walk up to the counter and see a familiar, pierced face. Pablo, hey! You were the dude I yelled at a bunch the other night. Gotta go real quick, drive to the office, see you on the other side of the pubs and chat. Okay, have a safe drive, Ari.
Ugh.
Amanda casts a sideways glance at me. Duncan, you tried semi-shirts. Pablo, and who might you be, miss?
Dad.
Duncan, this is my daughter, Amanda, the person I'm a father to and am very protective of. Pablo, an honour to make your acquaintance. My name is Pablo. Did I mention that I make witch house music? Amanda, I wouldn't call witch house music, but okay.
Ugh.
Pablo, a piercing blow to my ego, though not one that will dissuade my need to impress you. My innate dad senses tingle. I am overwhelmed with a fatherly, protective energy. I must do something to protect my child. Let's defend Witch House. Hey, Witch House is actually a nice form of music that many people enjoy, and I think our dear Pablo here should be proud to be making. Or technically making, since he's only done the logo so far. Amanda can handle herself, it's true. Pablo, yeah. Duncan, also, I've never listened to Witch House before. Matt, Duncan!
Eh?
Matt comes out from washing dishes in the back room to meet Amanda and I. He and I high five as fellow cool people do. Chat, are you cool? Are we cool people? Will you high five me? Matt, I see you've met my newest employee. Pablo, at your service, although I'm only here until Vacant Veil starts their world tour. Duncan, when's that? Pablo, well, we have to put out a record first.
Hey.
Matt, alright Pablo, now what do we do with customers again? Pablo, right, yes. Pablo clears his throat. Hello, good folk of Maple Bay. Can I interest you in a tasty caffeinated beverage? Amanda, a smashing pumpkin spice latte, please. Pablo, a classic, and you? Oh, decaf for cutie. A decaf for cutie, please. Don't want too much caffeine. Matt, decaf? Sounds like you're settling. Duncan, I have a very early bedtime that I just can't miss.
Hey.
Matt, oh, this Sound of Settling is a Death Cab for Cutie song, which was the band this was a pun off of. So when I said it sounded like you were settling,
Hey.
I'm going to stop talking now. Pablo, coming right up. Pablo gets to work making our drinks while Matt observes him.
Hey.
Matt, he'll get the hang of it. For as goofy of a dude as he is, kid works hard. Duncan, hey man, that concert was a lot of fun. We should hang out again.
Hey.
What do we do with customers? We turn them into coffee. Oh wait, hey, that's a different game, okay? Different game entirely. Matt, hell yes. I'm actually going to be done training Pablo in a couple of hours and is going to go record shopping. Want to come along? Duncan, absolutely.
Hey.
Pablo brings us our drinks and Amanda buries herself in her laptop. I spend my time sipping my drink and cracking... Let's attempt that sentence again, shall we? Take 2. Click. Sorry. Click. I spend my time sipping my drink and cracking jokes with Matt. Last time we hung out, he told me that he had trouble hanging out with other people, but for some reason he and I can talk and joke like old buds. It's weird. I feel really comfortable around him. Once Matt feels comfortable leaving Pablo on his own, I say goodbye to Amanda and we start walking to the record store.
Hey.
Matt, have you ever been here before? Duncan, no. I mean, we have a record player sitting in the living room, but all I have are 2 copies of Frampton Comes Alive.
Hey.
A, I've never heard of that. Anyone in chat know if it's A, real, or B, good? Matt, oh, this should be fun then. We're going to find you some good stuff. The walls are... Sorry, I just saw Yacht Club Miracle, and I was like, the miracle here is the size of the bicep and the fact that it hasn't exploded. What others do we have? We have Dinner Food, Steady Bow, Sad Swears, Fake Beard Arms Race, Dover Ghost, Couples Therapy. Hey, maybe Joseph and Mary need that. Anyway. The walls of the store are packed with posters, artwork, stickers and records. A few people mill around, flipping through milk crates of albums. Some indie band is playing through the speakers. That's a nice vibe. Chat, is this channel a nice vibe? Are you having a nice vibe on your Thursday afternoon, morning, evening, whatever time of day it is in the world for you? Duncan, so why do people still buy records? Isn't it kind of outdated at this point?
Hey.
Matt, there's a lot of people who will try to tell you that vinyl sounds warmer or more true to the artist's intent, but really I think it's just nice to collect records.
Hey.
It's cool that in this day and age we have just about every song ever created available instantaneously on our phones, but there's something about holding an album and getting to see the artwork in your hands that I'll always love.
Hey.
That's why I try to get as many of the records that I love in physical form as possible. Duncan, remember when we were kids and would have to wait around by the radio with a cassette tape so that we could record our favourite songs?
Oh.
Matt, it made each listen really special. And mixtapes were even cooler because of how much work they took. Duncan, I just make a playlist. I think the last time someone gave me a real mixtape was in high school.
Hey.
I look around the multi-level record store and spot some genres. Futurewave, jungle, anarcho-punk, nunsploitation. I have no idea where to even start. A lot of the dads on this cul-de-sac have turntables, they really do. Yeah, babe, Matt is you about books. Does that mean the novel I wrote and dedicated to you was my mixtape to you? I have no idea where to even start. Duncan, man, this is a little overwhelming. Matt, here, let me help you find something you might like. If you were a milkshake, what flavour would you be? Purple?
Hey.
Matt, if you could only buy one type of candle scent for the rest of your life, what would it be? I don't know. Power Violence Cherry Blossom sounds like my kind of thing, if I'm being honest. Dangerous presses and bubbles. You might have to follow that with a few more. Hey, she keeps asking.
Hey.
Matt, what's your favourite ambient sound? Well, as I've discovered from playing Phasmophobia, it is not Star Trek Bridge ambience. Rain. Matt, what's your dream vacation spot? I don't know why I did like that. Why am I talking like this now? Living off the fat of land in Ibiza. Matt, what's your deepest, darkest fear? Oh god. I worry that people are nice to me because they want something from me. Mood. I fear that I don't deserve happiness and won't ever get it. What if nobody exists but me and I fabricated this universe? That's one philosophical theory anyway. Saying you too what the waiter tells you to enjoy your food. That one. Matt thinks for a moment.
Huh?
Oh, I know just the thing.
Hey.
Matt runs to the other end of the store and returns holding a record behind his back. He shows it to me. This is Trouble Will Find Me by The National. The National have honed their sad guy sound on album after album, and by this point they're all pros about feeling blue. The music is so amazing that it'll actually cheer you up. Duncan, whoa dude, thanks for the recommendation.
Hey.
Matt, you're going to have a great time with it, promise. Matt and I bring our records to the cash register. A young girl with a septum ring and a buzz cut stands behind the counter with one earbud in. Cashier, usual stuff today, Matt?
Yeah, sounds great.
Matt, just some light pickups. Matt places 3 albums on the counter. Swear I'm Good at This by Diet Sig, Forever by Mystery Skulls, and Greatest Hits by Remo Drive. Cashier, tight.
Oh.
The cashier rings Matt up and hands back his albums in the bag. She stares at me suspiciously. Who's the nerd?
Hey.
Matt, that nerd is my buddy Duncan. Duncan, this beacon of human charm is Molly. Molly, I got kicked out of art school for destroying my paintings at the end of every critique. Duncan, lovely to meet you. Molly, anyway Matt, is the open mic night still on?
Hey.
Matt, you know it. Are the Third Wave's going to do a special acoustic performance? Molly, I might see if I can get a few of the girls together. As in, Third Wave feminism. Duncan, there's an open mic night going on?
Oh.
Matt, yeah dude, we do it every month at the Coffee Spoon. Duncan, have you not seen the microphones set up in the coffee shop? Jeez, this guy, am I right? Some amazing talent always comes through. Molly, got a fly for it right here.
Oh.
Matt, you and Amanda should come by that night.
Oh, man.
Matt blushes.
Hey.
I mean, if you're not doing anything.
Oh, man.
Duncan, will Vacant Veil be playing?
Hey.
Matt, if only. I finish paying for my record and we head out of the store. Duncan, man, what a trip down memory lane. I haven't been in a record shop like that since Vans had shag carpeting. Matt, now that you mention it, isn't it strange to think of all those weird little musical memories? Duncan, how do you mean? Matt, well, I think music is a very time and place sort of thing. Song is important to me not only that I think it sounds good, but where I was and what I was doing when I listened to it. Ah yes, Matt, sense memory. Welcome to the wise and wide world of episodic memory. There's music that reminds me of exes, of struggling through school, of being so poor that I didn't know where my next meal was coming from.
Hey.
All that stuff and listening to those songs reminds me of those moments of my life. Duncan, yeah, now that I think about it. Now that I think of it, even the pop concert Amanda made me take her to is special to me. I mean, not really a fan of the band, but hearing their songs on the radio reminds me of how young and excited Amanda was.
Oh.
And then that even reminds me of a younger me, going to see my favourite bands in concert with all my friends. We would always go to my friend Cynthia Chapman's house beforehand and smoke pot in her basement like we were so slick. Her parents definitely knew what we were doing. Wait, when was the last time you smoked pot? Matt stops and thinks for a moment. Matt, it's been decades. Duncan, dude, me too. Where do you even get pot now? Is that even what the kids call it these days? Matt, I don't know.
Hey.
But I bet I could find out. Do you get high and listen to our new records? Yeah, why not? Matt pulls out his phone and starts texting.
Oh.
After a few minutes, he looks up and smiles at me.
Hey.
Ah, Molly's got a hookup. Says to meet in an alley near the coffee shop.
Oh.
I don't know. Criminal acts with Robert, getting high and listening to records with Matt. Maybe Maple Bay isn't the best place. Maybe this cul-de-sac isn't the best place for Duncan Man to be living. Duncan, okay. It turns out it's the feds. You make a break for it and I'll take the heat. Just promise me that you'll raise Amanda like she was your own. Matt, you realise that weed has been legalised in the state, right? Duncan, I definitely knew that.
Oh.
But we live in dangerous times. Who knows what lurks in the seedy underbelly of Maple Bay? We could find ourselves on the wrong end of a deal gone bad. Just look out for Amanda. Matt, I swear. Oh, here's I go. Coming around the corner of one of those nasty grease dumpsters, shrouded in darkness, is a lean figure dressed in all black. It's Lucian, isn't it? Duncan, excuse me, Mr. Drugman. Surprised, the person almost jumps out of their skin. It's Lucian, Damien's son. Called it. Lucian, who sent you?
Wait.
Matt, we're cool, man. We're cool. Lucian, says who? For all I know, you could be with the feds. Cult of Ecstasy operates out of the cul-de-sac. Please, Slaanesh worshippers have far too much respect for themselves. Duncan, actually, we just... Lucian, prove you're cool. Duncan, what? Lucian, I need to know that you're down or I bolt. Sight mutually assured destruction. Duncan, look, man, I'm trying to buy drugs from you, and we know you sell drugs. You have dirt on us, we have dirt on you. We're in this together now. Lucian, look, it's fine, I get it. Buzzcut Molly said you were coming. Duncan, right. Now that formalities are out of the way, let's make a deal. Lucian, sigh. Alright. How much do you want? Duncan, 1. Lucian, 1 what?
Hey, dude.
Duncan, yeah. Matt, he means weed, Lucian. Lucian, yeah, but how much? Matt.
Hey.
1? Lucian, oh my god. Look, here, take this to give me $10, just don't tell my dad. Let's all forget this ever happened.
Hey, dude.
Matt, I won't tell your dad if you don't. Lucian hands me a baggie of something and disappears down the alleyway. I open it and take a deep whiff. It smells like genuine drugs. Yes, sirree.
Hey.
Matt, that went smoothly. Duncan, yeah, we should get off of public property before we smoke this. Also, did it go smoothly, Matt? Did it really?
Oh.
Matt, great idea. Let's head back to my place, yeah? Matt and I walk to our cul-de-sac and stop at a gas station on the way to buy rolling papers and soda. I feel like I'm 16 again. Matt. Of course he has a loft. That's just books. Of course he does. Commissita's having a sleepover tonight, so that gives us all the time we need to do drugs.
Hey.
Duncan, awesome. Let's do some drugs. Matt pulls one of the records out of his bag and puts it on for us. I plop down on a comfy leather couch and look around his place. There are a bunch of band posters and his record collection takes up an entire wall. Duncan, whoa, what a collection.
Hey.
Matt, been collecting my whole life. It was nice to finally get them all in one place after being on the road for so much of my life. I had to ask my parents to hold on to them for me. Matt sits down next to me and we lay the marijuana drugs out on the coffee table. Yes, chat. Have you ever partaken of the marijuana drugs? Matt, do you want to do the honours? Duncan, please, it's your house.
Hey.
Matt, if you say so.
What?
Matt pulls out some rolling papers and sprinkles some of the beatnik tobacco onto a piece. He starts rolling it back and forth and the paper breaks almost immediately, spilling drugs all over the couch.
Hey.
Matt never was too good at this.
Oh.
Matt tries again and is able to successfully roll a nice-looking... weed? Cigarette? He hands me a lighter and the... blunt? I think, and I take it. Duncan, well, let's... rip that goal fairway. Matt, yes, let's do that. I light the joint and inhale deeply. This is not what I remembered. It's been a while though. Maybe pot drugs have just gotten more potent since the last time I smoked. I pass the joint to Matt and cough a little bit. Should it sting this much or am I just a baby?
Wait.
Matt takes a hit and his eyes go wide. Matt, that's not weed. It's oregano, isn't it? Duncan, oh god.
Oh.
Did we develop a taste for meth? Matt, no, it's... Matt takes another hit and winces. Matt, yep, this is oregano. Heckin' bamboozled. I sniff the air. Yep. That would definitely explain why it smells like a pizza place in here. Duncan, that little punk ripped us off oregano. I'm never sure how to pronounce it.
Hey.
Matt, oh well, we can still relax and enjoy the music sober. Duncan, you know what? You're right.
Oh.
We sit and listen through the Diet Sig album that Matt bought, which is catchy as hell. I look around the room again and see photos of Commonsita growing up. I spot a young woman with a huge smile in one of the pictures with the two. Duncan, who's that? Hi, Duncan, as a single father yourself who lost their wife, I think they said they were married, who lost the mother of their child, let's put it that way. Why would you just... Okay.
Oh, man.
Matt, oh, that's Rosa. She was Commonsita's mother. She died when Commonsita was young. Duncan, I'm sorry to hear that. Amanda lost Alex at a young age too. I can understand how hard that must have been. Nice use of a... unisex name. To cover both possibilities. I look around again, spotting a framed gig poster hanging on the wall. On it, there's an illustration of Matt and Rosa surrounded by flowers. The cursive lettering reads, "Stillness to Dancing." Looks like they played the Soundgarden over a decade ago. Were you two in a band together?
Oh, man.
Matt, yeah. That was the reason I was touring so much when I was younger. We travelled the whole country in this rinky-dink little van. It was hard to start, but once we started gaining notoriety and seeing how much our songs meant to kids, it was just... incredible. Duncan, wow. Seems like a life some people can only dream of.
Hey.
Matt, it was, and it was difficult at the same time. I couldn't have done it without someone by my side. But Rosa and I knew that we couldn't do it forever. The long hours on the road, missing your family, sleeping in the van, all that stuff.
Oh.
So once she became pregnant with Carmen Cita, we put down roots in our favourite town to play in. Right here. Since she was a kid, Rosa always had a dream to own a quiet little coffee shop. She died before it opened. Duncan, I'm so sorry.
Oh, man.
Matt, don't be. I'm not really sure what to say. I couldn't possibly count the number of times I told people the same thing after Alex died.
Oh.
Matt gets up to flip the record. Next to the turntable, I notice a dusty piano. Duncan, do you play?
Oh.
Matt, I'm out of practice. Duncan, I used to jam on the keys back in the day. Matt, oh yeah? Duncan, I fronted the hottest 7-piece ska band that Eagle Rock Bay High School had to offer.
Oh.
Matt, no way. You had a Scarface? Duncan, phase? Scar never dies.
Oh.
Except for Communist Manifesto, who broke up after the senior talent show to pursue solo careers.
Oh.
Matt, dude, that's so rad. Matt pulls out the piano bench.
Hey.
Give me some of that two-tone love. Duncan, oh man, let's see if I still got it.
Hey.
I sit down at the piano. Anyway, it's Wonderwall. Stick to Scar roots, please. Duncan, hey, I think I'm doing it. I'm playing Scar.
Hey.
Wait, that was just smoke on the water. Matt, I've forgotten how to play. Matt, the deep purple is always appreciated nonetheless. Duncan, alright buddy, can you top that?
Hey.
Matt, I shouldn't. Duncan, oh, come on.
Hey.
Matt, no, it's been a long time. Duncan, leave it the fudge alone. Clearly this was something he did with Rosa. Okay, buddy, sorry to put pressure on you.
Hey.
I mean, Duncan, Matt, I mean, it's not a problem. It's good to watch you get back in touch with the music that flows through you. Duncan, I learned to play that song when I was 15.
Hey.
Matt and I sit and listen to more records until it gets late, and I decide that I need to get to bed. Matt walks me to my door.
Hey.
Let's never tell anyone about the oregano, okay? Duncan, deal. Wait, can I tell my doctor? I don't know anything about the health effects of smoking oregano, and...
Oh.
Matt, I think we'll be fine.
Hey.
Night, dude. I smile. Duncan, night. I walk inside and the house is dark, save for the sliver of light coming from beneath Amanda's door. I knock lightly on the door and enter Amanda's room. She's sitting at her desk with her camera, editing photos. Duncan, hey Amanda. Amanda swivels around in her chair to face me and slumps down. Amanda, what smells like a pizza parlor in here? Duncan, what? Nothing. So what's up? Amanda, Dad, I'm hungry. Duncan.
Whoa!
Amanda, wait, no. Duncan, hi, hungry. Amanda, no. Duncan, I'm Dad. Amanda collapses on the floor. Amanda, I promised myself I'd never let it come to this. Duncan, sorry, kiddo. You set it up, I spike it down. Amanda, you're a monster. Duncan, want some spaghetti? Amanda, yes, please. Amanda and I boil pasta and heat up sauce in the pan. Well, I boil pasta and heat up sauce while Amanda watches. Despite my best efforts, I'm not able to set it on fire. Amanda, how was record collecting? Duncan, it was great. Did you know that Matt used to play in a band? Amanda, no way. Was he good? Duncan, I don't know if the band was good, but he played some piano for me tonight. It was amazing. Did he? Did he though?
Yes!
Amanda, he played piano for you? Dude. Duncan, yeah, I brought up they should play at the open mic night that's happening in his coffee shop, but he got kind Okay, should I have pushed him into doing it? Because I'm not above reloading the autosave. Please bear with me while I check the wiki. Oh, I really should have. Whoops. Reload. Reload. I guess this one? Nope. Oh, it's flipped. That's why my brain was like, hey, Matt's place isn't there.
Hey. 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 What? Oh. Hey.
Rip that golf fairway.
What? Hey. Hey. Oh,
Sorry, please do bear with me and entertain yourselves.
I mean,
What's the
I
thing
don't know
teachers
if I
always
should.
say? Talk amongst
Hey,
yourselves.
I don't know
There we
if
go.
I should, man.
Not that I'm a teacher, of course.
Hey.
Used to want to get into teaching,
Hey.
then realised that
Hey.
teaching
Hey.
kids would be terrible for my disability. Stick to scar roots.
Hey. Hey. Hey.
Never too late to get back into it. Duncan, Matt, you just sat through a butchered version of Deep Purple's Smoke on the Water. How much worse can it be? Matt stares at the piano for a second. Okay. Well, he loved that. Okay. Matt closes his eyes and runs his fingers over the keys. He breathes in deep and starts playing a melody. If I didn't know that he hadn't played the piano in a long time, I would never have guessed it. Matt plays a soft, sweet tune filled with emotion. I've never heard this before. Is this one of his original works? This is so cool.
Oh.
Matt finishes the song and finally opens his eyes. Matt, how's that? Duncan, that was amazing. How much worse can it be? Challenge accepted. Most definitely, Stebaders. That we take that kind of thing as a challenge on this channel. Matt, oh, it's nothing. Duncan, come on, man, that was killer. Are you going to pull that out for the open mic night?
Hey.
Matt, oh no, I never play at those. Duncan, well, he's also now avoiding our gaze. Why not? You're really good. Matt, it's just, I just don't do it anymore. I just don't like being up there and alone and having so many people stare at me. It doesn't feel fun anymore. I can sense that Matt's getting uncomfortable at the thought of it. I won't push him any further. Duncan, alright man, but I hope you know how beautiful your music is.
Hey.
Matt, thanks.
Oh.
Matt and I sit and listen to more records until it gets late and I decide that I need to get to bed. Matt walks me to my door.
Oh.
And then this is it.
Oh.
Just skip through to where I got to.
Oh. Huh? Alright.
Kind of weird about it. Hey, I saw a fly for that. We should go. Duncan, it's not too late to start to follow the daughter's punk band and play a couple tunes there. Amanda, yeah, let me break out my glockenspiel. I think I only know hot cross buns, but we can work off of the chord progression. Amanda and I have a nice dinner before she goes back to her room to do photography stuff. I end up watching True Life. I'm a house hunter. They're staging an intervention for the house hunter, who is crying uncontrollably over the colour of the walls. They know they can paint the walls of their house any colour they want, right? Matt's song is stuck in my head all night. Date complete.
You know what? I'm down for an encore.
Apparently I just can't S-rank dates with Matt. This game is very difficult, actually, all things
Welcome.
considered.
You've got dads.
With, how kind of weird some of the options are to get the likes and the loves. Hugo. I should take Hugo up on his offer to hang out. I had a lot of fun with him at the aquarium. I type out a message to him on Dadbook. Hey, still on a cheese board? Hugo responds within a few minutes. Hugo. Colin is still being a humongous shithead. He won't stop sending the same picture of Jackie Chan in the mesh shirt to the printer, and it's a nice picture, but it's wasting all my paper. Whoop, sorry, I meant that for another teacher. But seriously, he's insufferable. There's pictures of Jackie Chan everywhere. I type back. Save a couple for me. My Jackie Chan scrapbook is a little light on content, and I think this would really round it out. Hugo, let me get back to you after class ends. I stand up from the computer and stretch. Duncan, oh, guess there's only one thing to do now. Dad nap. I hop on the couch and turn on some Antiques Road Warrior for background noise. Wastelander. I got this ornate cabinet from a yard sale for $5 in 1982. To be told that it once belonged to a Confederate general is a huge surprise. This will feed my tribe for weeks. I really like the way the appraiser's voice echoes through the mouthpiece of his leather armor / bondage gear. Maybe this is that ASMR thing Amanda keeps telling me about. I drift off to sleep. Hugo. Hey, sorry about that. Colin's in the principal's office now. He says he knows Jackie Chan personally and that Jackie won't be happy to hear this. I'm jolted awake by a dad book message from Hugo. I get off work in a little while and I continue to be very serious about the cheese boards. I fumble out a reply. Yeah, so am I. Hugo and I work out the details and I'm all set to meet him in a few hours. Amanda walks in the door just as I'm about to leave. Duncan, what's up, Buttercup?
Huh?
Amanda, just getting home from school? Where are you going? Duncan, oh, I have a meeting with the board. Amanda, the board? Duncan, a cheese board is what I meant. I'm getting cheese with your teacher. Will you be able to fend for yourself until dinner time? Amanda, yeah, I'll live, but only if you can talk him into going easy on me for the final. Duncan, sorry buddy, that ball's in your court. What's in my court, you ask? Just a variety of delicious cheeses, meats, and their accompanying crackers. Maybe some olives, a little bit of fig jam.
Oh.
Ugh, olives, chap. Ugh. Amanda, yes, I get it. You're excited about the cheese. Duncan, sweetie, you'll get it one day. But now I gotta go see a man about some manchego. Amanda, please leave. I walk into a quaint French diner, and Hugo waves me down to a booth in the corner. He looks pretty tired. Duncan, long day? Hugo, every day is a long day when you teach middle schoolers.
Oh.
Colin started the gambling ring. The pictures of Jackie Chan were just the cover. He's bartering in those little rubber band bracelets that are also shapes. Duncan, is that the one that parents think means sex stuff? Hugo, those ones, yeah. But the reports are just the sensationalist news media capitalising on the fears of suburban parents, as usual. At least I hope. Duncan, yikes. Hugo, right now I'm very ready for some fine wine and some delicious cheese. A waitress stops by and takes our order for the biggest cheese plate you have. For the love of God, just please put the cheese in my mouth. And recommends us some wine. What the game doesn't mention is that Duncan is on extended compassionate leave after the death of his wife and is using it to date guys. Hey babe, that might be exactly what the setup for the game is. We don't appear to have a job, we just nap. Waitress, do you two want a scoreboard for trivia? Scorecard for trivia. Duncan, there's trivia? Waitress, yep, we're starting in a few minutes. Pretty much everyone here is playing. Hugo, we'd love to play, right Duncan? Okay, if this is timed, I'm going to cheat. If it is not timed, I might still resort to cheating anyway, but, you know, it'll be fine either way. Hopefully I'll know the answers. Hopefully they won't be too obscure. We'd love to play, right Duncan? Duncan, yeah, sure. Okay. The waitress hands her the scorecard and a few pencils before leaving. Duncan, I might not be much help here. I'm not very good at being smart, I guess. Hugo, come on. I doubt it'll be too hard. Matt. Duncan! I turn to see Matt and Brian here with their daughters, looking like they're ready for trivia. They come up to our table to greet us. But why is Mary the only adult woman in the cul-de-sac? Seems either very sus to me or this is a grieving dad's retreat. The latter, I suspect. Or at least separated dad's retreat, because Craig has an ex-wife, because Smashley's still alive. Come to our table to greet us. Duncan, hey guys. You all here for the old question and answers game?
Hey, yeah.
Matt, yep, we come here every week. Brian and Daisy carry the team. Commerce Eater and I are just here for the cheese. Matt, I feel that on a deep spiritual level. Also, trivia is amazing. Brian, Provolone 2 Lost in New York have been reigning champions for the last month. Man, Brian's great at trivia too. That raises the stakes. Great name though. Duncan, solid team name. Daisy, that's Commerce Eater's claim to fame. Commerce Eater, it hurts me how good I am at puns. Matt, like father, like daughter.
Oh.
You guys gonna try to give us a run for our money? Hugo, we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do to not hurt your feelings too bad. The cheese will taste so much better with a side of victory. Hugo and I bump fists. Hugo, tag team champions. We'll have to think up of a good team name. We'll have to think up a good team name. But I think this will be fun. Comacita, good luck. Brian, Matt, and their daughters head back to their table. Duncan, well, I guess we need a name. Hugo, got any good ideas? Easy, breezy, beautiful. That'll do just nicely. The waitress comes by with our cheese board and we revel in its glory. Already I can see a piece of cheddar with my name on it. I pair it with some strawberry preserves. Cheddar and strawberry jam. I may have to try this, Angel, if you're watching. I may have to try this. We have both of those ingredients. Slide into dairy-induced ecstasy. There's such a fine variety of cheeses and charcuterie that I'm positively overwhelmed. A quick dip into the seasoned nuts, a slice of savoury yet salty Gouda, or perhaps a focaccia crisp topped with honey and goat's cheese. Oh, that sounds amazing. Duncan, I'm so happy. Hugo raises his glass at me. Just make you some proper food first. That's fine.
Oh!
Hugo, cheers to cheese. Huh? Hey, hey! A middle-aged man in a backwards baseball cap, sunglasses and cargo shorts jogs out of the back with the frenetic energy of a radio DJ. Quizmaster Quinn with 2 Zs. Everybody ready for some trivia? I think the dates have separate data. In short, I don't think the negative effects of the dads during the dates are saved. There's one... It's not a date. It was... No, it was. On Joseph's day at the bake sale, I did see when I was checking something on Joseph's page the other day that you can interact with, I think it's Matt, and gain like Matt will go up in like, and Joseph will get dislike, or the other way around. But that's the only instance that I've seen. Anyway, everybody ready for some trivia? The restaurant cheers. Oh man, looks like everyone's really into this. Quizmaster Quinn, that's what I like to hear. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Quizmaster Quinn. My actual name's Richard. I just like alliteration. More cheers.
Sadmaster Quill.
I see some of you brought your children here tonight. That's cool. My children won't speak to me. Haha, I'm just joking around. Classic Quizmaster Quinn humor. It's actually my wife that won't speak to me. She doesn't want kids. Let's get into some questions. The first category is literature. Hugo, excellent. Quizmaster Quinn, you know who loved literature? My dead father. I looked up to him so much. I don't know what's with the voice. Sometimes it just happens, I apologise.
Hey!
More jokes! Classic Quizmaster Quips. Just trying to keep it light here, folks. Just like I thought my wife was the light of my life. Damien, Hugo, you got this literature stuff, right?
Oh.
Hugo, does Franz Kafka have an irrational fear of one day waking up as a large, grotesque, insect-like creature? Well, Hugo, if my basic understanding of the plot of Metamorphoses is correct, yes. Yes is the answer to that question. Duncan. Yes? Quizmaster Quinn, this is the continent that encompasses the realms of Gondor, Rohan, Mordor, and Lothlorien. Other notable sites include Isengard, the Mirkwood, and Rivendell. What is the Elvish name for this continent? Oh, Hogwarts. It's Endor. Which is also obviously a planet in Star Wars. Yes, Kafka does. Hoth is also a planet in Star Wars. Lemuria is an antediluvian continent on planet Earth. Endor.
Correctamundo.
Who was the writer that created Tarzan and John Carter of Mars? Hey, we were talking about Tarzan and John Carter of Mars the other day on this very channel. That is Edgar Rice Burroughs.
Correct.
Edmond Dantes is better known as this man. Oh, that's the Count of Monte Cristo.
Correct.
The Quizmaster walks around the room. I think he's doing crowd work. He stops by mine and Hugo's table. Whoa, nice cheese plate you got there. Duncan, thank you. Quizmaster Quinn, how's that cheese tasting, big guy? Duncan, good. Quizmaster Quinn, great. Cheese used to be my favorite food, but I developed a lactose intolerance later in life. Duncan, I'm sorry to hear that. Quizmaster Quinn, I also developed clinical depression. Duncan, oh. Quizmaster Quinn, but people don't tend to just get over your lactose intolerance, right? Nobody's like, have you tried exercise to get rid of a debilitating dairy allergy, or you just need to choose not to let your throat close up when you eat brie? Hey, no, he's right about all of this. Duncan.
Oh.
Hugo. Quizmaster Quinn. Anything? Does that scan? I'm trying to workshop my routine here. Quizmaster Quinn wanders off to another table. Who wants to start the next round? There is a solution to lactose intolerance. Don't eat stuff with lactose in. More cheers from the audience. The next round is cinema. Okay. Oh man, I love movies. Sometimes I retreat into them for days on end because obsessing over a fictional universe is easier than engaging with my real emotions and problems. Oh, is there a cure for lactose intolerance? I didn't realise. Quizmaster Quinn needs a hug and therapy. A lot of therapy. So much therapy. Frodo Baggins, am I right? Duncan, is he okay?
Oh.
Hugo, I think it's just his character. Duncan, how's your cinema? Hugo, spotty. I don't know a lot about movies, but if there are any questions about bad horror movies, I can be of service. Duncan, that's an interesting one.
Oh.
Hugo, it's a bit of a guilty pleasure. Hey, Hugo, bad horror is amazing, right? Bad horror is a good genre in and of itself. Quizmaster Quinn, in Return of the Jedi, where does Luke cast Leia if she remembers? Their mother.
Correct.
Quizmaster Quinn, what entertainer makes a fourth wall breaking appearance in the film Gremlins 2? Oh, it's Hulk Hogan, right? I'm going to select Hulk Hogan anyway, but I need to know the answer. It is Hulk Hogan! Shout out to Arian, her wrestling fandom.
Correct.
Which of these 80 horror movies does not feature an Indian burial ground as part of its setting? Pretty sure it's The Shining. But I've never seen Within the Woods. Oh, it's Poltergeist. Maybe I'm just remembering about the, I've seen the answer now. Temporary proof of concept of a cure for lactose intolerance. Wonderful, thank you. I really need to rewatch The Shining, I guess. Never seen Within the Woods. Pet Cemetery's whole shtick is you bury your pet in the burial ground. I've also never seen Poltergeist, so I don't mind cheating for this one, because I've only seen 2 of the 4 films.
Correct.
Seems like we're doing pretty well, but we're neck and neck with Brian and Matt's team. Those guys are pros. I look over to their table and give them a friendly, but competitive nod. I lock eyes with Brian. He gets a much sterner nod. And the next category is wrestling. Hugo's going to know everything about wrestling, isn't he? Duncan, okay, we're totally boned. Hugo grabs my arm.
Oh.
Wait, I got this. Duncan, huh? Quizmaster Quinn, man, you know who I'd want to wrestle with. Literally anyone. I crave human interaction. Please put me in a chokehold. Please, it has been so long since I've been held.
I'm so sad.
I can only Sorry. Thumped my desk. I can only process my emotions by making jokes out of them. Duncan,
Hey.
Quizmaster Quinn, let's start the quiz. Remember that this is the lightning round. The first people to answer get the points. Okay, I know nothing about wrestling, so I'm just going to cheat. I'll be honest, I'm just going to cheat. Okay, no, literally Hugo has... Quinn is not okay, guys. I don't get to answer here. I look over to Hugo. He's focused. He's in it to win it. Question 1. This was the original name of Stone Cold Steve Austin in his debut for the WWE.
Oh.
Hugo's hand shoots up. Yes, the enthusiastic one over there. Hugo, Steve Austin debuted as the ringmaster.
Ah.
Quizmaster Quinn, that is correct. Points to Easy Breezy Beautiful.
Ah.
Next question. The city was the location of the first ever WrestleMania.
Oh.
Hugo's hand shoots up again. Yes, the one who looks like he has known the answer for his entire life.
Ah.
Hugo, the first WrestleMania was held in New York. New York at Madison Square Garden in 1985.
Correct.
Quizmaster Quinn, another correct answer for Easy Breezy Beautiful. Hugo's destroying these questions. He couldn't yell it any louder if he tried. Yeah, should we start a GoFundMe for Quizmaster Quinn? I've never seen him act like this before. It's honestly kind of hard. Quizmaster Quinn, ooh, a tough one. This title match went down in history as the shortest match of WrestleMania to date. Hugo jumps up more excited than I've ever seen him.
Yes.
Hugo, Chavo versus Kane.
Incorrect.
Quizmaster Quinn, ooh, sorry Booker, but that is incorrect. The answer is actually Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus at WrestleMania 28. Hugo, nope, that's absolutely wrong. The real record is Chavo Guerrero versus Kane, WrestleMania 24, March 30th, 2008. Kane took down Chavo with one chokeslam and pinned him for the 3 count. I will not stand for this travesty. Quizmaster Quinn, hey man, I'm just reading from the card here. I don't actually write these. Hugo, well, you're still wrong. Quizmaster Quinn, what are you, my ex-wife? Oh. The crowd erupts in laughter. Hugo blushes. He retreats back into his chair.
Ah.
Hugo, fine. Wow, Hugo seemed really fired up about that. Where did he get this encyclopedic knowledge of wrestling? Duncan, how do you know so much about wrestling?
I don't know.
Hugo, oh, you know, you just pick stuff up. That sounds suspect, but it seems like he doesn't want to talk about it. I turn my attention back to the Quizmaster.
Oh.
Quizmaster Quinn, alright. Looks like we're down to the final category. And it's a close one between Provolone 2 lost to New York. Brian and Matt, high five. And easy, breezy, beautiful. Hugo and I high five. We look over to Brian and Matt, Common Seater and Daisy, all playfully give us a thumbs up. All playfully give us thumbs down and stick their tongues out. I ate a big chunk of cheddar without breaking eye contact to show them just how serious I am. Oh yeah, chat, like, if you don't have the space or if it is socially unacceptable to T-pose and you don't feel like giving them a good old finger pistol, consume cheese without breaking eye contact for dominance. The final category is cool animals. Just like I pick up knowledge of a Kimura lock. Hey, picking up knowledge is the best. Animals, huh? I never could take care of another living thing. Hell, I can barely take care of myself. I'm falling apart. Anyway, here's the questions. The Canary Islands were named after what kind of animal? It's dogs, isn't it?
That's right.
Yes. Pretty sure the bird is named after the island. Quizmaster Quinn, what was the last animal that appears in the dictionary? Or what is the last animal, sorry? I mean, sometimes you're just given answers that are so strange they have to be true. I recognize a zebra. A zonkey is the zebra-donkey cross hybrid. Yes? Ziziva?
Correct.
Yes! Quizmaster Quinn, what mammal has the thickest concentration of fur in nature? I want to say polar bear. It is, in fact, the otter. The more you know.
Correctamundo.
So I had to check the answers on like 2 of those. I are smart. Alright, I'm just going to come around and collect your scorecards and we'll see who came out on top. Remember, the winning team gets a $25 gift card to Phil's Auto Care. If you need a car part, Phil's will fulfill all your needs. Everyone oohs and ahs. God, I won that gift card. The Quizmaster goes in the back to tally up the score. I pick at what's left of our cheese plate. There's a bit of brie here that tastes absolutely divine on a cracker with a little bit of honey and dried apricot. Oh, that does sound quite tasty, actually. Hugo, so what are your plans after our big win? Duncan, I'll probably retire, take a man somewhere tropical, drink something out of a coconut. Always wanted to do that. What about you? Hugo, probably take my winnings to Colin's gambling ring, best all in black. Walk out of there with more rubber bands in the shape of animals than I know what to do with. Duncan, bold, but I like your style. Hugo, you want the last piece of Havati? Duncan, nah, that's all you. You definitely earned it. After a couple of minutes, the Quizmaster jogs back into the room. Everyone immediately quiets down, waiting with bated breath for the results. Who will win the coveted gift card? I really hope it's us. Quizmaster Quinn, hey everybody, we've had a great night, lots of goofs, lots of laughs, a little bit of light crying in the back, but that's neither here nor there. By a landslide, the winner of tonight's contest is... Easy breezy beautiful, coming down to get your gift card for Phil's Auto Care, where Phil nominal services.
I am sad.
God, I can't do this anymore, please just take the gift card. I motioned for Hugo to go get the gift card and he shyly slinks out of the booth to grab it. He pauses for a moment, gives the Quizmaster a hug with a few pats on the back. Yeah, Quinn needs it. Quizmaster sobs just a little. Did anyone else see that Matt was standing behind Quizmaster Quinn then? It's like he got the crook and just yoinked him off stage. Hugo makes a victory lap back to our table and gives me a high five. Hugo, easy, breezy, beautiful is unstoppable. Easy, breezy, beautiful is great. May easy, breezy, beautiful reign for 1,000 years. Matt, hey, great work, guys. Tomasita, you guys did awesome.
Hey.
Brian, will we be seeing easy, breezy, beautiful again next week? I look over at Hugo, who smiles. Duncan, maybe so. We make a pretty good team, huh, Hugo?
Hey!
Hugo blushes. Hugo and I walk back towards our cul-de-sac, basking in the glow of our win and nursing our cheese-filled bellies. Duncan, man, we crushed it in there. Hugo, finally, enduring the screams of young children for years on end has paid off. I will take my half of this gift card and use it to purchase many, many air fresheners for my car, which Ernest refuses to stop vaping in. Duncan, I think I'll use my half to buy at least 2 tyre pressure gauges to place in different parts of my garage. You never know when you're going to need one, and I prefer to have them within arm's reach. Hugo, a fine plan. Duncan, shame about that one wrestling question, though. Hugo, I'm not kidding. I plan to write a strongly worded letter to whoever employed that man. Duncan, come on, there's got to be a story there.
Oh.
Hugo, what do you mean? Duncan, you didn't even stop to think. You pulled that wrestling knowledge out like you were there at the ring yourself. Hugo, oh, it's just stuff I know. Oh, we're asking again. Hugo, I figured you'd be better at lying after dealing with every kid in school for as long as you have. Hugo, it's embarrassing. Ask again. Duncan, you know what's actually embarrassing? Not being able to explain basic algebra to your daughter. You know what's definitely not embarrassing? Knowing stuff about wrestling. Hugo sighs. Hugo, alright, if you really want to know, just follow me. Hugo leads me to his house at the edge of the cul-de-sac. We step inside, and his house is exactly what I expected it to be. Neat. This is neat? Okay. Filled top to bottom with books and art.
Hey.
Hugo, welcome to my home. Sorry it's so messy. His house is actually spotless. I follow him down a hallway. What are we doing? Hugo opens the door and ushers me inside. It's pitch black. He closes the door behind us. Of course, there's a wrestling room. Hugo flips the switch and I finally understand. Curio cabinets packed with in-box wrestling action figures line the walls, along with posters, cardboard cutouts, and every piece of wrestling memorabilia imaginable. A giant widescreen TV sits on a decked-out media stand. I'm speechless. I look over at Hugo, who's hovering by the door, doing everything to avoid eye contact. He's looking away. It's, this is really embarrassing. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Duncan, are you kidding? Look at all of this stuff. This must have taken you forever to collect. Can I touch this? Hugo, go ahead. I pick up one of his replica championship belts and toss it over my shoulder. Duncan, do you smell what I'm cooking?
Oh.
Hugo, I think the line is... Duncan, it's meatballs. Hugo. Duncan, sorry, I don't watch a lot of wrestling. I just think it's so cool how passionate you are about this.
Oh.
Hugo, oh, yeah, I am. I really, really like wrestling. He's blushing so hard right now. Ernest. Hugo, you bought the wrong kind of pizza rolls again. Looks like Ernest just got home. He's yelling in from the hallway. I can see Hugo immediately deflate.
Ah.
Hugo, I told you, those pizza rolls have less sodium. I just want you to be healthy, son. Ernest comes into Hugo's wrestling room and looks around with disgust. He notices me and scoffs. Ernest, I thought nobody was allowed in your precious wrestling room. Hugo, I never said that. I just said, you're not allowed to take the action figures out of their boxes and pose them so that they're having sex with each other. Ernest gets flustered. Ernest, yeah, well, whatever. I'm gonna go throw eggs at stuff. Have fun with your stupid wrestling crap. Ernest leaves, then a moment later pops his head back in the room. Ernest, and your stupid friend. I think in the vernacular he got me. Ernest storms back out of the room. I hear a door slam. Hugo wearily runs his hand through his hair.
I don't know.
Hugo, sorry about him, and sorry that I have to keep apologizing about him. He's just going through a phase, I guess. I try so hard to impress him, but it's obvious that no matter what he hates me. Ernest has a thing against authority figures, and you don't get much more authoritative than a teacher dad. My ex, he gets to be the fun weekend dad, and I'm just Hugo, who makes Ernest eat his vegetables and turn his homework in on time. Duncan, hey, you love him, and you're looking out for his best interests. Take it from one dad to another. Someday he'll come to appreciate you. Maybe not someday soon, but someday. Hugo, I hope so.
Oh.
Thanks for letting me vent. Hugo glances at his watch. Suppose it's getting kind of late. Let's do trivia again sometime soon. Duncan, I would absolutely love to. Heck yeah, I'm always here for trivia. I start to leave. And hey, thanks for showing me your wrestling stuff. Maybe you can tell me some more about it next time. Hugo smiles.
Hey.
That would be amazing. I'll catch you around. It only takes me a minute to walk back home, because we all live in the same cul-de-sac, obviously. Amanda's sitting on the couch, reading a book about female photographers. Which I did, yes, admittedly almost pronounce as photographers. And then was like, wait, no, that's not how that word's pronounced. In the split second before I said it. Duncan, wow. I thought you didn't like reading. Amanda, I don't. This book is all pictures. And even then, my patience is being tried. Did you get to eat all of the cheese your little heart desired? Duncan, I am a happy little cheese monster. But I made sure to leave room for dinner. Seems to be a very niche topic. It does, doesn't it? Who wants breakfast for dinner?
All right.
Amanda, hash browns! Oh, we're having hash browns for tea today, and it's going to be amazing. Duncan, okay.
Yeah.
Amanda, toast dipped in egg. Duncan, Amanda, blueberry pancakes. Duncan, well, only if you'll help me make them. Amanda, you know I'm the world's best blueberry sprinkler, and also totally amazing at heating up the maple syrup in the microwave. Now tell me all about that cheese board. Amanda and I spend the evening cooking an elaborate breakfast with everything we can find inside of the fridge. I tell her all about the trivia, but leave out the parts about Hugo being into wrestling. I figure she'd probably find some nefarious way to use that information for a better grade. A record scratch. Date complete.
I'm JK rolling with delight.
That's the stream. That's it. I'm never streaming again. Fudge you, Hugo. Fudge you.
Welcome. You've got dads.
We've got dad's chat. Probably time for Brian's second date. Oh no, we're going fishing. Oh, I've just realised we're going fishing. Oh no. Oh no, chat. Help me. I'm just pulling up the wiki page in case. That was absolutely right. He didn't even try with that. He did not, did he? Decent pun and contextually poor taste. Yeah, that pun has not aged well at all. I know, Brian. Oh, I have a message from Brian. Hey, Daisy and I are going fishing tomorrow. Are you in or out? Oh no. I've been dreading this day. I accidentally boasted about my abilities as a fisherman to Brian, and now he's challenging me to another dad-off. I've been doing my fishing research online, but I'm nowhere near close to being an expert. Still, though, I have to accept. I type back to Brian. Just gonna wait for it to finish. Sounds great, man. Super excited to catch all this fish, and my lawn could use another good mowing. That'll show him. Brian responds back, letting me know that tomorrow he'll pick us up at an hour I had previously forgotten existed. Man, that's gonna be a rough start. Duncan, Amanda? Amanda comes into the room from the kitchen, eating a cheese stick by biting it off piece by piece like some kind of monster. Okay, so I assume that's what we call cheese strings over here in the UK, where you can like peel the cheese into strings. It's a very original brand name. Duncan, I didn't raise you like that. Amanda, what? Duncan, it's called string cheese and not chompy cheese for a reason, Amanda. Yeah. Amanda, did you just call me in here to criticize my controversial string cheese eating technique, or what? Duncan, no. Amanda, we have to go fishing tomorrow. Amanda, well, you have to go fishing. I guess play with Brian's dog. Duncan, how do I become a master of fishing overnight? You went fishing in the Girl Scouts, didn't you? Amanda, nope. My stint in the Scouts was brief and purely transactional. Thought I could get free cookies, but I didn't know that I had to, like, be outside and tie knots and stuff. Duncan, but I have to beat Brian. Amanda, Dad, let me tell you a story. We do also have square cheese sticks which you can't pull apart. Makes sense. I think we have those too for, like, vacuum-packed, low-quality processed cheese. Anyway, Dad, let me tell you a story. Do you remember last summer how I applied for a job at that coffee shop across town? Duncan, give me a refresher. Amanda, during the interview they asked me if I knew how to work an espresso machine. And I really wanted the job, so I lied and said yes. On that first morning, there was a line out the door, and within half an hour I severely burned my hand, and they told me to go home and never come back. I still have a scar from that. Duncan, of course I remember. What does that have to do with fishing? Amanda, the burn is a metaphor, Dad. Duncan, I don't get it. Amanda, you can lead a horse to water. Duncan, what do horses have to do with fish and burns? Amanda, Dad, please. I don't get your obsession with competing against Brian. Duncan, you wouldn't understand. It's a dad thing. Amanda, please try explaining it to me. Duncan, okay. Brian's just... He just thinks he's so much better than me, and he purposefully reminds me of that whenever he can. It's like he has to one-up me. I have to beat him at his own game. Kelpies, that's the relation. Unless nobody else knows what's up. Amanda, is that what you think is happening here? Duncan, no. Amanda. Amanda, okay, good. Duncan, I know that's what's happening.
Ugh.
Amanda. Alright, Pops. We should both be getting some sleep. See you in the morning. Duncan, night, Panda. Chat, I'm thinking that after we go on Robert's second date, we will go on Robert's third date and work backwards through the dads. Just so we don't end on Robert. I don't know where I'm going with that. I just thought it might be nice to end on Damien and then your favourite in Craig. But we'll see how that goes. I brush my teeth and throw on some pyjamas. I climb into bed, set my alarm and close my eyes. Okay, sleep. I am wide awake. I can't help but think about the last time I went fishing, hoping that there's something I can glean from it to give me an edge over Brian. I was about 9 years old. My dad woke me up one morning and told me to get dressed and meet him downstairs. It was still dark out. I had no idea what was going on, but before I knew it, we were both alone on a freezing cold lake. I had to sit there for hours while it got hot and muggy, the air thick with bugs. I picked up mosquito bites while my dad sat in stony silence, fishing pole in one hand and a beer in the other. We didn't catch anything. On the long drive home, my father brought me a pack of cigarettes and didn't say a thing. Stellar parenting there for a 9-year-old. That didn't help, and I think I have some repressed sadness about my father. I'll deal with that later. I'm sitting on a boat in the middle of a body of water. I can't see any land, but I know it's a lake. The water is placid and... No, not Lake Placid. No! And still, I'm holding a fishing pole. I don't understand why, but it feels like my life depends on catching fish right now. I cast my lure into the water and wait. And wait. And wait. My whole being is filled with hopelessness as I watch the line disappear into the depths below. Huh? You used the wrong lure. I look up and see my father, just as he looked that one cold morning, disapproving. So many cryptids in the stream. You're not wrong. I'm panicking now. I pull the lure up and try to grab a different one, but all of the lures in my tackle box are the exact same. I look up to my father for guidance, but he's gone. I try casting again, but I can't hold my footing. My boat tips over and I fall into the water, sinking further and further. I see the multitudes of fish that had been lying just below the surface, all swimming around me as if to taunt me. One fish swims up to me. He has Brian's eyes. Fish. You gotta use a neutral buoyancy lure if you're trying to catch trout, buddy. I jolt awake to the sound of my alarm. It's fishing day. That would explain the weird dream. I groggily slip on clothes and get ready. I spot Amanda's door half open and see her curled up in a mountain of blankets. Walking over to her bed, I give her a tiny kiss on the forehead. Duncan, fishing day, kiddo. You ready? Amanda, no. Duncan, well, you gotta get up. I can't do this without you. Also, stop sleeping in your clothes. Amanda pulls her comforter over her head. Amanda, never. Duncan, Amanda. Amanda, I'll get up in a minute. Duncan, alright, Brian should be here in 20, so you better not just go back to sleep. Amanda sticks her hand through the blanket to wave me away. I leave her room and make myself some coffee and another cup with lots of cream and sugar for Amanda whenever she gets up. Amanda eventually wanders in and chugs her coffee while I do word jumbles. I hear the doorbell ring. That must be Brian. Still rubbing our eyes, we walk outside to see Brian. He's decked out in fishing gear. Daisy's falling asleep next to him. Brian, early bird gets the worm, buddy. Duncan, you ready to fish? Brian, I was born ready. My eyes narrow in on Brian. It's a good day to die. Duncan, hop on in, guys. Let's get this fishing party started. We walk over to the driver's side door and open it. Maxwell, woof, woof. Brian's dog immediately hops into the driver's seat, wagging his tail furiously. Duncan, can I see your license, sir? Brian, Maxwell, let Duncan sit.
Oh.
Maxwell obediently hops into the back to cuddle with Daisy. Amanda settles in next to Maxwell and Daisy and immediately falls asleep. Brian, you ready for an adventure? I'm ready. For glory. Dog is the most qualified driver ever. Yep, I trust that face. I struggle to stay awake as we drive to the outskirts of town. Country music plays quietly from the radio as I watch trees pass by. Duncan, so where exactly we're headed? Brian, it's about an hour north of here. Capital. A little spot I've been going to since I was a kid. My dad used to take me there all the time. I don't think anybody else knows about it. I brought everything we need so that we can catch some trout, have a nice little fire and enjoy the nature. Duncan, my fishing pole is in the shop, getting it tuned up. Do you maybe have an extra I could borrow? Brian, but of course, it's probably not as nice as it sounds like yours is though. Duncan, right. I'm digging a hole here. I stare out at the forest lining the highway. The sun is just barely over the horizon, scattering dusky pink light through the trees. For a split second, I spot a deer grazing on the side of the road before it leaps back into the brush. After a nice, quiet drive, Brian eventually tells me to pull off the highway and onto a dirt road. The car bumps along until we reach a clearing that opens up to a magnificent lake. Brian, well, here we are. I step out of the car and help Brian unload our gear as Maxwell runs around us, barking. The kids wake up and wander to the shore where Daisy tries to teach Amanda how to skip rocks. Put the shovel down. Current hole depth 1.5 meters. Put the shovel down stepway, Duncan. At this point, I think we've dug the hole. We're in the hole, and Duncan is currently consuming his own foot. Brian and I carry the tackle boxes and cooler down to the edge of the lake, where he has a canoe waiting. Brian, great. Still in one piece. Hold on, help me out with Maxwell. I help Brian place a tiny dog-sized life vest onto Maxwell. Maxwell, woof woof. Brian, alright, your turn. Brian hands me a lime green life vest. Maybe if I fall in, you'll save me. Duncan, if I fall in, I'm counting on you to rescue me. Brian, suit yourself. Brian turns to Amanda and Daisy, who are still skipping rocks. Brian, you kids want to fish? Amanda, I'm going to just throw rocks into the water. Amanda hurls a rock into the pond with gusto. Amanda, yeah, take that, water. Daisy, Amanda, you're supposed to be skipping them.
What?
Amanda, is that what we're doing? Brian, Daisy, don't you want to fish? Daisy, I think catching fish is kind of inhumane. Amanda, we're going to go explore in the woods and look at bugs and stuff. Brian, alright, be safe. Don't go too far. Brian puts the life vest around himself and we throw all of our equipment into the canoe. Maxwell happily jumps in and takes his place looking out over the front of the boat. I get into the canoe as Brian shoves off. We paddle together to get to ourselves in the middle of the lake. Technically, kayak. Brian, most freshwater fish usually feed at dusk and dawn, which is why I had to get you up so early. Duncan, yeah, I know. That's pretty common fisherman knowledge after all. Fisherman knowledge that I am knowledgeable about. Brian, still a gambling man? Duncan, you know it. Brian, let's see who can catch more fish. You can catch more than one. Duncan, sounds easy enough to me. What's on the line? Besides all the fish I'm going to catch, obviously. Brian, I was thinking something a little more high stakes than mowing the lawn. Duncan, custody of our children? Brian, more than that. Let's say, if I win, I get you Weed Whacker. Duncan, the Whackmaster 2000? That's a limited edition. Brian, but if you win, you get my pole saw, the Reach and Cut 3000. Duncan, the cordless version? Brian, that's the one. And now for our next guess, Leshy. Or Mermaid. Shit, the Reach and Cut 3000 is state of the art. My Weed Whacker is a prized possession, but there are all those hard to reach branches at the back of the yard that have been begging for a pruning. You're on. We shake on it. I suddenly remember that I don't know how to fish. My foolish, fatherly pride will one day be my undoing. I watch as Brian ties a lure and does some stuff I can't quite follow with his fishing pole. He casts into the lake. Oh boy, now I have to do that. I stare down at the tackle box and at the pole in my hand. Insult the fish. You put bait on the hook. I fish a worm from the styrofoam container Brian bought. It's slippery, but I think I can get it onto the hook if I just focus. Oh god, I'm bleeding. Oh god, the blood's everywhere. The worm is not on the hook. Brian, need some help? Duncan, no? I meant to do that. The blood attracts the fish. I guess about up to a mile away, you know.
I don't know.
Brian, I think that's sharks. Duncan, no. It's definitely fish. Now what? Hopefully it wasn't bobbed. Hopefully not. We tie a knot. I take my pole and try to tie an elaborate-looking knot to impress Brian. The classic hunter's bend. I learned that one in my youth. Yep. This one isn't coming apart anytime soon. With this knot, I will cast my heavenly line upon the unsuspecting water and deliver unto us a bountiful harvest. I look over to Brian. He doesn't seem to be paying attention. Let's cast the sucker. I pull my rod back and launch the lure as hard as I can. And the lure flies off the end and sails far, far away, landing in the lake with a loud sploosh. Duncan, sorry, I judged the wind speed wrong. This cold air drives the pressure down. Brian, go ahead and take my pole. I know it's hard switching to a new pole you're not used to. I'll fix up another lure. Brian hands me his pole with a smile and I just sit there, feeling like an idiot. He's onto us. He knows. He has to know. Oh! It's a match 3 game. Okay. Fishing around here is easy. All you gotta do is land 3 of the same species and reel them in. Need to match 3 of the same species? I can't tell which fish is which.
Match that fish.
That's the Atlantic salmon. Like most salmon swim upstream to spawn. They're amongst the largest salmon species. Oh, we're timed as well. Wonderful. Okay.
Match of the day. Rainbow trout. Catch of the day.
Why is match 3 so satisfying? I don't got... Oh.
Rainbow trout. Catch of the day.
It's like, I don't got anything. I don't got anything.
Catch of the day.
Or I don't have anything, more accurately.
Catch of the day. Rainbow trout. Now you're fishing.
Now I'm fishing, chap.
Nice, man.
This is how you fish, right? I'm a fisherman.
Match of the day. Match of the day.
All that time spent watching Angel play match 3 games.
Nice, man.
It's paying off. It's paying off. You know, I've also played them myself, of course.
Catch of the day.
They're all actually not that easy to distinguish when you're trying to do it quickly.
Nice, man.
Not a fisherman, you're a donkey man. That is true. That is very true. I probably shouldn't be checking chat while doing this, all things considered. I should probably just focus on fish. Can you stop with the bubbles? I never thought I'd say that, but really, stop with the bubbles. I'm very overwhelmed in terms of visual stimulation right now. The bubbles are actually really off-putting for me. That's an accessibility issue. Yes, S rank. Okay, so there is you can apparently get 2,000 points on that, but I'll take the S rank. Ghost Bubs, thank you. So we need one with donkeys, asses, mules, and bureaus. Thanks for that. Loads of donkeys. Brian, good work. That was a horrible minigame. Wow, this is way tougher than I thought. I look over to Brian, who's smiling and obviously enjoying his time out here on the lake. I will crush him. Speaking of match 3, however, back to game on Kickstarter a while back. I posted about this on the Discord server. When it launches, I will be playing Spirit Swap Lo-Fi Beats to match 3 too. It is a thirsty, thirsty game about queer people. I think every character in it's non-binary, so that's pretty cool. I will crush him. Suddenly, the fishing pole jumps in my hand. I reflexively tug upwards. Duncan, I think I got something big. If you know what I'm saying. Wink. The tip of the pole dips down repeatedly and the line starts to run. Brian, reel it in. I finally get the fish right up next to the boat. It's a long, beautiful rainbow trout. Brian hands me a net. Brian, it's all yours. I lean down and notice that my hands are shaking with excitement. This fish is bigger than all the ones Brian's caught. That pole saw is mine. Yep, saw that coming. The entire canoe tips over with me. I find myself sinking into the lake. I should have taken the life vest. All of a sudden, I'm embraced under the water and pulled into Brian's arms. I'm finally dragged upwards, sputtering water. All of our gear floats on the surface. Maxwell doggy paddles around us in circles, having a great time. Brian, you alright? Duncan, does that count as one? Brian, well, seems our fish are now swimming safely back in the lake. I guess so. Brian laughs. Let's get you to shore. Brian and I flip the canoe back over and fill it with our now soaking wet gear. We row back to the shore with Maxwell in tow. Once we get to the... Oh, hey, Brian. Once we get back to the beach, Maxwell dots off into the woods. Brian takes off his shirt. Dots of lake water glisten in the sun across his strong back. Man, all that general contracting must have built that guy like an ox. I mean, you can see how built he is. It is a vision. I hope he doesn't notice me staring.
Ah.
I'm going to get a fire going so we can dry off. Want to hand me yours? You want me to take off the cat shirt? Yes, okay. I reluctantly take off my own shirt and toss it to Brian. I suddenly wish I'd done more sit-ups in my life. Or any sit-ups at all, really. Another thing you've bested me in, stupid sexy Brian. Duncan, you might as well fry that shirt up. Seems like it's the only lunch we'll have.
Hey.
Brian, the day's young. We can fish from the shore. Once Brian gets the fire going, I sit and try to dry off my pants. Brian sets a couple of lures out by the water's edge. Brian, we're probably going to have to put the kibosh on the competition for now. Duncan, until another day. My stomach growls.
I don't know.
Brian, you hungry? Duncan, oh, I'm fine. Brian reaches into his cargo shorts and pulls out a few granola bars. I have a small child. I am flushed with snacks. Hey, Angel has me. We're flushed with snacks. Brian joins me by the fire, and I accept the cargo short granola. Brian, and now we're back to waiting. Duncan, where did the girls get off to? Shouldn't they be back by now? Brian, I wouldn't worry about it too much. They're a couple of smart kids. Duncan, that's what I'm worried about. They're too smart. They probably established a small rural government by this point and installed themselves as leaders. I take a look around at the sun cresting the tree line, casting the entire lake in a warm, golden glow. The forest seems to be coming alive now. Birds chirp in the distance. Wow. Nature is beautiful. Not as beautiful as Brian, but yeah. A mosquito bites me. I slap my neck and curse. Nature sucks. Sorry. And curse. Nature sucks. Brian, here you go, bud. Brian hands me a bottle of bug spray. I begrudgingly take it and douse myself. Duncan, I've always hated how this stuff smells. Duncan, really? I've always kind of liked it. Reminds me of being outside. Duncan, maybe you and I have different sentiments on the outdoors. Maxwell comes bounding up to me, a huge stick in his mouth. He drops it at my feet and looks at me expectantly. No. No, we're throwing. We're throwing the dang stick. You do not... Look at that dog's face. Would you break the stick? I hurl the stick as hard as I can towards the tree line. Maxwell bolts after it, running as fast as his stubby little legs can carry him. Which, consequently, is not very fast. It is very cute, though. Brian, nice throw, Duncan. I turn away so he can't see me blush. Maxwell brings the stick back to me, clearly proud of himself. Duncan, good boy, Maxwell. You're a very good and speedy boy. You're the world champion of fetch. It's time for the pets. What's the plan? I want to see if if this choice actually makes a difference. It does. He likes all of he likes one and loves two of them. We're going to rub that belly. Maxwell rolls over and lets me rub his belly. He wiggles on the grass, clearly loving it.
Ah, shucks.
Brian, I feel like a bit of third wheel here. Where are my belly rubs? Duncan, I'm so flustered I can barely say anything. I just focus on petting Maxwell and hope Brian doesn't notice how much I'm sweating. While I'm playing with Maxwell, fish begin routinely pulling on Brian's lines. I watch Brian effortlessly fillet the fish, squeezing a bit of lemon on them and frying them up in a cast iron pan. Before I know it, we have a feast fit for a couple of shirtless dudes. Amanda and Daisy emerge from the woods, looking totally unscathed. Amanda, whoa, Dad Bob Patrol. I'm going to have to issue you both a citation and demand you both put your shirts on. There are children present. Brian tosses me my now dry shirt. I pull it over my head, thankful that I will no longer be distracted by Brian and his pecs. Duncan, where have you guys been? Daisy, studying entomology. They've been looking at bugs. Duncan, what? Amanda, we were playing with bugs. Duncan, I expected you guys to be more covered in, like, mud and stuff. Daisy looks offended. Daisy, what do you take me for? A child? Amanda puts a hand on Daisy's shoulder. Daisy, right. We take a seat around the fire and Brian serves us all generous piles of fish on paper plates. It's absolutely delicious. Why does he have to be good at everything? Brian, fish taste okay? Daisy and Amanda both nod furiously, mouths full of fish. It's incredible. I've never had fish this good. Duncan, yeah, that's great. Brian, old Hardin family recipe. Amanda, why are your pants wet? Duncan, well, Amanda, we were out there on the lake, and then... Brian, and then accidentally tipped over that boat. Don't worry, all of the gear floated to the surface, so we didn't lose anything. Right, Duncan? Duncan, yeah, that's exactly what happened. I can't believe he just covered for me. Gosh, he even out-humbles me. He's trying to beat me at everything, including my world-famous sense of humility. We finish our fish and end up playing catch with Maxwell for a little while before we decide to head out. After cleaning up the camp, we pack up the station wagon and let Maxwell into the back seat. The poor pup falls asleep in a cuddle puddle with Amanda and Daisy. They've had a long day. Brian, been an ordeal today, bud. Let me drive you guys home. I want to prove that I'm the most awake dad on the block, but... yeah, I'm beat. Duncan, fine. As we drive away, I take one last look at the lake disappearing behind us and smile. I rest my head against the window and the low rumble of the dirt road beneath us lulls me into a peaceful sleep. Brian, hey sleepyhead. I opened my eyes and realised I had dozed off in the car. I self-consciously wiped a bit of drool off my chin. Duncan, oh, hey, I was resting my eyes. Just in case we suddenly have to jump into any sort of conflict, so I'm super awake for it. I'm ready to fight. With my strong arms. Brian, it's all good. You had some rest, buddy. Thanks for coming out with us today. I had a lot of fun with you. Duncan, thanks for inviting us. I also had fun, actually. Brian, glad to hear it. Take it easy, yeah? Duncan, you too. Take it the easiest. Brian chuckles to himself as he unloads the car. Amanda and I get inside and immediately collapse onto the couch. Duncan, long day. Amanda, yep. Duncan, I was so close to that pole saw. Amanda, pole saw? Duncan, yeah. Brian and I were competing to see who could catch the most fish, and... Amanda, stop. Why do you care so much? Duncan, Amanda Panda? Just look at the guy. He's so obviously got my number and he's rubbing my face in it. Amanda, Dad, I love you, but you're kind of stupid sometimes. Duncan, stupid or clearly the superior dad? To be fair to Duncan though, Brian should have compensated for Duncan leaning on direction in a canoe. He should have done, yes. Ideally, anyway. Amanda, you know what? I don't have any of the energy required to properly unpack your weird fixation with asserting your masculinity. I'm going to bed. Night. Amanda slides off of the couch and face down onto the floor. I'm a tired slug. Duncan, Amanda? That floor is disgusting. Amanda, I don't care. Duncan, well, night, honey. Amanda, night, Pops. Date complete.
You sure know how to make a dad blush.
Thanks, Brian, I guess. I didn't get many dad points, but I got a lot of daddy points.
Welcome. You've got dads.
Okay, I don't really have time right now for another dad. So, we'll just end the YouTube recording here and find someone to raid and discuss plans. Sneaky plans. Thanks for watching, everyone. I really appreciate the support. Obviously, if you're watching this on YouTube and you're not already subscribed to the channel on YouTube, please do consider subscribing. If you're watching on Twitch and you're not following the channel, please do consider following the channel. Obviously, consider subscribing as well. That is in my financial interests, but you really don't have to. The follow is more than enough, as is the lurk. Thank you all for watching. YouTube, pet your pets, tell them they're good pets. Stay safe, healthy, wholesome, all of that good stuff. And I'll see you next time.